Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And no, despite what people may incorrectly state, that is still true. With me today for now is one special guest, and we may have more special guests joining us, but a guy I haven't had on the show in a while, and I'm happy to have back. Emish, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Pleasure to be back. Pleasure.
Well, thank you for joining me on this noblest of streams, the noblest of streams on this wonderful holiday.
Happy 4th to everybody, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Happy 4th. A great holiday. A great holiday for spending an entire day outside, whether you want to or not. That's just how it ends up going. At least when you have a bunch of kids. I don't know about you, but I was outside for the vast majority of the day. And it was a little warm. But
yeah, it's been pretty humid here. I mean, I went out to run some errands. I didn't have my son today. I went to my cousin's house to have a barbecue and spent time with his kids and his family. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's pleasure to be back. Excited to push this GoFundMe, since that's what today's stream is going to be about, or tonight's stream is going to be about mainly. Positive vibes here, people.
Yes, tonight is about the GoFundMe. We're going to do, so we're just going to talk and relax. We'll answer questions and comments, of course. I'm not sure where the conversation is going to go. We're just going to have a natural kind of talk. We'll probably start, I guess, just with some of the VIX stuff, and then we'll move wherever we lead. We're not married to any topics here. I believe we may be joined by some other guests as this thing progresses. So just kind of hang with us, and we'll do that. But what were you going to set a hard timer on this?
It's up to you. We can go 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't want to bother the people watching, but I think maybe 15, 20 minutes is a good time.
Yeah,
considering
they know why they're here, right?
Yeah, of course.
This is giving right into Fundme time. Okay.
Yeah. So what's a good time for you? 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Let's do 20 minutes at least for the first hour and see how that goes.
Got it. So let me just set this up, and then you can go on ahead.
Yeah. So we'll okay. Let me screen share to start, and then we'll get rolling that way.
I believe our other guest is on his way, so he should be here shortly.
I was going to say, it looks like Flash is on the way, so that's great. Here's where we are. The GoFundMe is up on screen here on the screen share. I just refreshed it, so we're at $192,159. Now the goal, of course, is to push past that 200,000. I'm not saying that's the goal for tonight, but if we did it, it'd be funny. And let me tell you why it'd be funny. Because over the past week, really the last 2 weeks, I guess, from depositions, from the beginning of Vic's deposition, this was the point. The beginning of Vic's deposition until through this week, nothing has pissed these people off more than the GoFundMe. They hate it. It is loathsome to them. It is holy water to their split pea soup vomiting, pockmarked exorcism faces. It is.
I like that analogy. Holy water is great. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's the cleansing salve to the hemorrhoid hepatitis combination that is the other side. And I mean that with all of the love I can muster. All of it. They hate this GoFundMe. The lawyers hate it. The clients hate it. The supporters hate it. Shane hates it. I don't know what he technically is. The drive-by Twitter lawyers hate it. They all hate that this thing exists and that you guys keep giving money to it. So today, I am going to shamelessly ask you. This is where I'm the worst salesman ever. So Emish is here to help keep me on task with this.
Gotcha.
Asking for the sale. I'm such a bad salesman. I never ask for the sale. So today I'm going to change that. And every 20 minutes, I'm going to sincerely and humbly ask you to contribute to the GoFundMe if you can. All right.
And I'm going to start the timer right now, actually. So starting as of this moment, every 20 minutes, we're going to try to push this GFM as much as we can. $200,000 is the goal. Not tonight, of course, as Nick mentioned, but that would be nice. That would be extremely nice. So you guys know what to do. Is the link? I imagine the link is in the video description of the live stream.
Why would I have done that? That would have made a lot of sense. Let me edit that right now on the fly and say
And if
that
anything,
yes, it was.
Yeah. And if anything, what we could do is every 20 minutes, we'll just spam the chat with it as well.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you guys are watching, I mean, like Nick mentioned on his last stream, I believe it was his last stream, sharing this goes a long way.
It really
does. I don't know why these people specifically hate it. I don't know. Maybe it's because Nick started it. I don't know if it's because people are willing to put their money where their mouth is in support of Vic, or maybe they somehow think that donating to this GFM means that they're also supporting Nick as well. Nick doesn't really benefit from this in regards to monetary gain, I imagine. But yeah, whatever
zero.
it is.
I get
whatever
$0. Anything that goes to the GoFundMe. Let me be very clear here, because I think there's some. Here's what you'll notice. Here's what you'll notice with the Twitter law experts that are out there, both professional and non-professional legal experts that are commenting on this and talking about the weirdness of it or the impropriety of it or any of that thing. Let me suggest some things to you. I don't get a penny from this GoFundMe. I don't get a penny from Vic Mignogna. I don't get a penny from Ty. I've stated that I am the person who referred Vic to Ty. That's what I did. I referred Vic to Ty's firm. There is no kickback or compensation or any other monetary arrangement under any conception of the term between me and Vic or me and Ty or me and Beard Harris, Bullock and Hughes or any interested party. The only people giving me money are you guys through super chats and ad revenue and justice chats and Patreon that are unrelated to the GoFundMe, unrelated to the case. Nothing from this comes to me. I can't be clear enough in that there is nothing. I don't have access to the money, and no percentage of that will, not even a minuscule one, will ever see my pocket. So
one of our guests is here, by the way.
Oh, who do we got? Who's here?
Oh, I'll let you do the honors. I mean, I could mimic him, but let him do the honors.
Oh, there. Let me bust that in there. How's it going, guys?
Hey, man. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, man. Thanks for the invite. Good cause, man. Good cause. I was like, yeah, I can drag myself away from blowing things up to come out for it.
Well, I appreciate it. So the show's really free form tonight, Tug. We're going to just kind of chat, but every 20 minutes, and Emish has a timer, we're going to shill the GoFundMe specifically and just keep it going. And it's something that I'm not really, I don't really do very well as a salesman. So today I'm taking a conscious effort to do that. But I am clarifying for everybody involved, I don't get a penny of this. No one other than Vic and Ty, through their legal arrangements, sees this money. And then at the end of the case, anything left over, or into the representation or whatever it is, anything left over goes to the charity that's specified in the GoFundMe. The first update, I think, had it, or maybe the second.
Our other guest has arrived, by the way.
Oh, good. Well, I'll introduce him in just a second. I just want to see where people can find the information. I think it's the first update. Yes.
Yeah, speaking of the charity, I think it might be a good idea to mention that a little more often, considering people, I mean, there are people out there that think that everything goes specifically to the case and nothing goes to charity at all. So that also might be a good way to help market this thing.
Well, it's
considering we are the worst salesmen out there, but I don't know.
Right. The brutal honesty of it, though, is that the reality is that every dollar may end up going to the case. That might happen. We don't know what the ultimate costs are going to be. The other side has ratcheted up the cost of this litigation by doing very stupid things, like trying to come after me, etc. But let me mention the charity and then introduce our next guest. So any excess fees will be donated to one of the Salvation Army domestic violence and abuse shelters in Dallas County, Texas. That's right there. It was in the first update. That was as soon as I found out which one. So ultimately, any extra money goes there. So it does go to a cause. It doesn't go to line anybody's pocket. That's not a thing. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to stop presenting the screen share for now. We'll go back to chatting, and I will welcome to the stream also Yellow Flash. How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, it's a good day, man. It's July 4th. Got to spend a lot of time with the family, and I can't ask for much more than that, right?
Yeah, I had a great time with family, having some beer, burgers, out on the water. And then I check Twitter once in a while, and I see that lawyer, what's his name, Alex, he's like searching the hashtag and like commenting on my thread. It's like, what kind of a loser are you?
Akiva?
Akiva Cohen, yeah.
That dude's so interesting because at the beginning of all this, he's like, I don't have time to keep up with this. I'm just offering my passing commentary. I'm not really interested.
I check this thing.
Yeah.
It says he has 5 kids and he's like sitting on Twitter all day on the 4th of July. What are you doing?
I have other things to attend to. And then he just relentlessly comments. Like, all right, buddy. I wonder how many times he tweets a day. I've noticed all of these guys, man, when they started getting some attention on Twitter, their Twitter activity, it jumped. It jumped a little bit. It's like they really like that attention.
That Greg guy's at 300 something tweets a day.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
What did you say that is, Tug? Like tweet every 6 minutes?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. If you tweet 300 times a day, yeah, if assuming you sleep for 8 hours, that's like every 3.2 minutes for 16 hours.
What if he tweets every time he wakes up from sleep apnea? what if that's how he's maintaining the schedule? He's got your numbers beat because he tweets every time he wakes up from the apnea. So that carries him through.
Wait a second, I got corrected in the chat. I'm sorry. Akiva's wife has 5 kids. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a good point. I'm sorry. That is a very good point.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna pull up Akiva's social blade here on the live stream. It's very interesting, and you'll see why it's very interesting really quickly. Okay, how do I do that? I'm such a boomer. I'm sorry. Here we go. Screen. All right, so here is Akiva's social blade, Akiva M. Cohen, right? And look at these tweets. Look at the amount of twittering these people do. I mean, wow. My wife kind of gripes at me, and she's like, "You're on social media a lot," and I'm like, "I'm not though. You don't understand how much other lawyers are utilizing the platform." and I mean, look at it. Daily average is 137. But look, this is what I found most interesting. Look at those monthly tweets. This is where they started, June 1st, right? Isn't that right about when these guys popped up? Was June, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Look at his tweets. His monthly tweets went from 965 to 4,000. He quadrupled his output. And if you go by,
look at some of those dailies though. God, man, 280, 250, 324, man.
That's without a retainer, by the way. Like,
even
that's for free.
If you look at his sort of median line, and I mean, I'm being generous here. You got to say he tweets on average 1,000 to 1,200 times a month, which I think that's generous. That's with some peak months around 3,000 here, and a peak month at 2,500 here. He's still doubling his monthly output, or no, quadrupling almost his monthly output of tweets. It's amazing. It's amazing what that attention does to you, right? But you can see, yeah, they love it. I just find it fascinating. If anyone if anyone is, let me just dispel some illusions for you. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm on YouTube, Twitter. I have many subscribers and followers who I appreciate very much. And the attention that you get from people, it's enticing, right? Like, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't like some of the attention. So when these guys are out there saying, well, we're just these disinterested lawyers. We don't, what interest do we have in the case? The tells are in the numbers, guys. Right, Tug? Tells are in the numbers.
Oh yeah, very much so. So looking at them too, unlike Greg, actually the interesting thing with Greg though is he already had a lot of subscribers, you know, where he like on Twitter. I mean, the weirdest thing, their marketing, I guess, where because they don't have any other platform. You know, you could say I'm on Twitter or whatever because I'm marketing my YouTube, I'm marketing my comic, whatever. But these guys,
they're not marketing anything.
Yeah, I mean, and Greg is actually driving away subscribers. He had one big influx when this started, but man, every day it's in the red. So I can imagine being subscribed to a guy that tweets 300 times a day and getting that many reminders.
Oh my gosh, it would drive me nuts. I unsubscribe from everybody when they start flooding my timeline. This is a comparison. This is my use of Twitter. 24 tweets a day. That's my average, with a high of 40. I don't know. I don't know what to say. The amount of Twittering these guys are doing indicates where they're gaining their attention. Now, I get more attention on YouTube than I get on Twitter. I'm on YouTube every night. You can just follow people's habits, right? This isn't a secret, but I just want to point out when they're
I would
not
look at mine real quick. I feel thankful I'm not a loser. It's like 17, 10, 26, 17, 24. I feel like that's normal. That's okay. Like you're in the, you know, as long as you're not hitting 100, actually, as long as you're not hitting 50,
try hitting 100. Try doing it one day. Like I've gotten up to 70. That's 76 was my max ever, and I literally felt like I lived on Twitter all day. You know, the other day I did 72 because we've been pushing for the book again, and I'm telling you, it feels like you're wasting your life. Now imagine doing 5 times that. I couldn't. I don't think I could. And that's not counting direct messages or anything else. That's just what this counts.
Oh, I direct message more than I tweet for sure, but I don't think that's like the same. That's just chatting with people.
I think when all of this stuff started, there might have been a point in time where at least all of us may have had like peak times, like Tug mentioned just a little while ago. But I think now most of us tweet maybe like at most 15, 20 times a day. That's just me being generous. And they're quality tweets. You know, it's not like we just spam people's stuff. It's just we'll retweet something with a purpose behind it, and then that's the end of that.
My highest.
I don't know if my bathwater tweet had any purpose behind it other than being a joke. Did you see the bathwater sold out, Nick?
That was funny.
Well, sorry, I got to let the secret. I bought it all. I sent it all to Doucette. Just mailed him a vat of bathwater.
And she makes a lot of money. I saw an article when I was looking up like how much money she's worth now. She has 3,400, I think, patrons now. But when she had like 24, she was making $150,000 a month.
Her Patreon tiers?
Yeah, so she's making.
She doesn't make just $1 a person. This shit goes up to about $3,000 tier.
Yeah, she has $2,500 tier. So I mean, she was making before $150,000, and she's added over 1,000 more people since then. So yeah, she's got. We may laugh at the bathwater, but
I don't laugh at it at all.
I would, if I was a pretty young woman, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, you'd be all up in the bath. You'd be like,
I'd be doing it.
Good.
I laugh more at the dudes that are buying the bathwater. I don't have any hate against her. She's just making money off fools, man.
Yeah, the most that we can do is probably set up a GoFundMe or sell some sperm. That's about it.
She's making like $40,000 a bath.
That's insane.
I wonder.
She's getting that out of the tap. Come on.
You got to figure
It's all
There's-
cloudy and musty and everything.
There's some YouTuber out there who could sell vials of his man juice, and it would
I would
sell.
do it. I would do it.
Man, it's got to be.
Oh, okay. So did you ever hear of It's a Gundam YouTube channel?
I've heard of it. I've never watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So this doesn't totally account, but so there's a guy, he did an experiment. He took like some like supermodel dudes pictures and made a Tinder, and he put in there like literally like, I'm trying to not hook up with kids anymore, like said that he was a convicted child rapist, and like women were all over him. They're like laughing about it. So I think women are almost kind of as scantless.
Yeah, well, there's got to be some YouTuber out there who could sell it for like thousands of dollars. I wonder what the ethics of that would be. The legal implications of selling that. I don't know.
I think there'd be a market for it if you're, Fabio looking YouTuber, got a lot of female fans. They'd probably buy it. I think the business is a little more selective, though.
Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah, Matthew
Sorry.
S. He's talking the Tinder pedo experiment. Yeah, that's the video.
It's it blows my mind though. I mean, people will buy stuff, and the funny thing about the bathwater though is it was cheap enough to be a meme, right? Like if she had sold it for $500 a bottle, but 30, I mean, that's at least funny. I wonder how many units she sold, how many units of bathwater she moved.
Well, she sold out, so.
Yeah, I can't remember how many it was. I saw somebody added it all up, and they were like, she was making 37,000 and however much more per bath. So, which I don't remember, but man, I kept thinking, damn, that's a damn good hustle. That is a damn good hustle.
Here, guys, I gotta share something with you. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted. I got a direct message from Sam Hyde just a second ago, and I was like, hey man, I'm in a show. And so he said, tell your audience I said what's up. Here, I'll prove it. Here's Sam Hyde. It's backwards, sorry. Tell your audience I said what's up, and then ask them if they think sue me for free pipebomb.biz is a good domain name to buy. So if you guys want to participate, 1 for yes, 2 for no. For Sam Hyde, we'll crowdsource this answer for him. Sue me for free pipebomb.biz. Should Sam Hyde buy that? 1 for yes or 2 for no. So we'll have to wait on that. That was a little random.
Some people are asking who Sam Hyde is.
Oh, you just gotta Google the Sam Hyde TED Talk. It's the greatest TED Talk ever given. Do you guys ever watch that?
I watch TED Talk sometimes, not lately. I saw.
Did you watch
they had
Sam Hyde's TED Talk?
I did not.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
It's good.
The last TED Talk I heard about was the woman that was saying she was trying to explain how pedophilia is a sexual orientation.
That was crazy. That was insane.
Man.
That we should respect them because pedophiles are people too. It's not a matter of being a person. I mean,
I just relayed back to Sam that 99.9% of you guys are saying yes to buying the domain. So,
what do you cover? What's the topic of the discussion?
I can't really spoil that. He's basically trolls an entire TED Talk.
I love it. I gotta check it out for sure.
I mean, in a way that only he can. So yeah, I would suggest checking that out. It's a funny. That's a funny thing. I don't know how to describe Sam. He's a comedian. Oh, you guys have all probably seen Sam Hyde. Everybody out there knows who Sam Hyde is. He's the guy who commits all of the mass shootings. And no one knows how he keeps getting away with it, right? He's that guy with like the glasses and the bleach hair and like Mac 10 or whatever in his hand that gets photoshopped into every mass shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's Sam Hyde. So, no, I'm not gonna put on his TED Talk. You guys go watch that on your own. I don't want to steal his thunder, right? That's his thing. You should definitely watch it. Hold on, I gotta answer. How we're probably getting.
So are you coming to Bubba Fest? Is that locked in?
I'm gonna say yes.
Awesome.
I'm gonna say yes, with a minor caveat that over the next couple days I may change that answer to no, but it's very unlikely. We're at
And then change it to yes again.
We're like a 99% yes. We talked to the babysitters today. They said it looks like they're available, and barring something weird, we should be locked in. So once I will give a firm confirmation when I actually book plane tickets. But I think we're good. So Lady Rackets and I to Bubba Fest.
Looking forward to taking a shot with you.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Or 2, or like 5.
You're the 3 wise men. We just got to get Tug going. That pesky baby.
Well, I'm. It just depends. We've got another little one on the way, so we'll see. I mean, we got plenty of time, as long as I don't want to jinx it by saying, yeah, let's make plans, and then, nature's like, hey, hold my beer. No, I don't need any of that. So as long as everything goes well, I will be there.
We'll give you a pass for drinking whiskey through a straw, so you can get it through the Jason mask.
That's what we need right there. Oh Lord, man. I should have, that would have been interesting to do while on panel. That would have actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I have so many regrets about that panel. Not one of those regrets involved the jelly bean.
No,
the jelly bean was great, because that's a big
that
case.
awesome
That's a big case making breakthrough for Ron.
Super mega lawyer, Akiva Cohen. We were talking about him earlier. Guys, I gotta tell you this. Akiva Cohen and Ron Toye. Ron Toye was like, ha, we got him, when the jelly bean thing happened. And Akiva Cohen asserted that if Casey was any good, that jelly bean story was stupid, and it would put Vic in a bad position at deposition. I don't want to misquote him, so you guys would have to look up that quote for yourself to find out. So remember, Akiva Cohen, objective, neutral champion of the silliness of this lawsuit or whatever. He said that jelly bean stunt was stupid or something like that, and that if Casey was any good, that would be brutal in deposition, right? Does anybody know where that is? I mean, can we find that tweet?
Yeah, give me a few minutes. I can find it.
I think it was him and Toya actually made some comments about that, how they're going to send that stuff over and they were going to destroy these people in court with it and all this other crap.
If you can find...
I'll get it in just a minute, because he was talking trash to me that day, too, because of that.
Yeah. Okay.
What do I know about law? I'm friendless and apparently don't take baths. And I was like, wow, you people are a bunch of douchebags.
I saw that. Was it Renfamous put that picture out saying that?
Yeah, and it's like, all right,
How easy would it be to just make something up like that and put it out?
What? That Renfamous doesn't take baths? I mean, I don't think anyone's under the illusion that thing fits in a bathtub.
She's kind of died out, huh? It's been quiet and nice with her and that Spider-Man guy kind of in their hug box.
Yeah, well, I think
the only thing that they can get attention for, there are certain buzzwords that will get you attention. You need to add in, these days it's getting harder. You not just add in cis white male, you've got to throw in like fascist, white supremacy. And I mean, it's a lot of work.
That's why I got the extra fashy haircut. I went into my barber and I picked the extra fash option. I was like, look, you normally help me out with this, but I need all of the fash you can put in. All of that. Hold on, I'm looking for something too. Here we go. Oh, do I have this? Do we have this? I don't know if I can actually verify this fully yet. How close are you on? Do you think you got that tweet here coming here?
It'll
Tug?
take me a couple minutes, man. It's taking me a few. Sorry.
Wait, are you like looking through archives, or are you just searching his timeline?
No. I'm doing a search. I thought I could hit it with him commenting back and forth to me, but apparently he didn't tag my name in it.
Why don't you check your folders?
Because like Twitter lawyers, like they don't matter. I only put things that matter in folders.
Speaking of which, guys, a bunch of people started donating to the GFM. Since,
Yeah,
this stream
I'm
started.
waiting
So
for
we're at
the.
100
Wait, don't spoil it.
194,000.
Don't spoil it because we're waiting for the 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
Hey,
gotcha. You got some time.
any chance you can make it out to Bubba Fest? I don't know where you're at, so
Yeah, I'm in New York. I
That's
gotta
a
see.
couple
I gotta
hour
see.
drive for you.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I don't drive, so I'd have to fly out there for sure. But I'll
Walk.
see.
Start now.
Yeah, for sure.
Appalachian
July 4th weekend.
Appalachian Trail your way down. Here, while we're waiting on Tug, let me do some of these chats in case. Well, you're still looking?
Yeah, I think I'm on it. I just have to open it in a different account because you can't. Half of these people have me blocked, so I had to open it on something where I could actually read it.
Does Akiva have you blocked?
I don't know if he. There's so many people in these threads that have me blocked, though. I can't tell if we landed on the right thread. But
Can they afford to block you guys though? I don't think they can.
Yeah,
This whole thing started with you guys anyway. I don't think they can afford to block you guys specifically.
well, they need. I mean, if they do, like, they can't get any clout by talking.
I've got it. I've got it here on Discord. I've got it here on Discord.
Yeah,
Just a second.
here it is.
Probably block
you
me.
gotta-
I don't really slap fight with anybody that much anymore, so I guess it really doesn't matter if they block me.
All right, here we go. Let me move it over here for a screen share. Here we go.
Yeah, it's from the 22nd. So.
We've got it. Yeah, the 24th, they mocked the jelly bean incident. If the defendant's attorneys are smart or saw the line of questioning I laid out earlier, they will be asking Vic at deposition whether he agrees with or condemns Nick and Ty's mockery on that panel. No matter which option he chooses, including I have no opinion, it can be used against him. And then here he is asserting that I'm Luminatrix. I don't know where they get this.
Yeah, you have about 400 alternate accounts, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're up to now?
I have so many alts, and I'm not any of them. It's so fun. But let me point out that that question did not arise at Vic's deposition. So I guess they're not smart lawyers, right? I guess Casey and company are not smart, according to Akiva. I mean, just based on Akiva's perception, because he said, if the defendant's attorneys are smart, so there's the conditional statement, or saw the line of questioning I laid out there, so they're either smart or dumb and saw his smart take, they will be asking Vic at deposition whether he agrees with or condemns Nick and Ty's mockery at that panel. Apparently, Veronica's legal team disagrees with Akiva Cohen's strategy. So, Akiva, you'll have to take that up with them. You'll have to take that up with them. I, of course, disagree completely with his assessment that would be damaging in any sort of way. Because Vic would probably just say, I had nothing to do with what their panel's about. What do you think of your attorney mocking it? I don't have anything to do with it. I'd like what...
that whole email back and forth on that latest piece. I think you went over that last night where they were talking about wanting to subpoena you.
There's more of that, actually. Here, check this out.
Well, I don't represent Nick, so I don't know what you want me to do. It's like they're trying to sue you now.
I even got a snapshot of us like doing it from the side.
Oh, here, I've got you locked up.
You're so
here.
determined in that, man. You're like, oh, force it in there.
I was trying to get that jelly bean. Those holes are little, Tug.
Yeah, man. No. We had to drop it in the eyeball.
Trying to
You gotta smash it in there, right? Like, yeah,
deflower your face hole with a jelly bean.
Man, it was rough. But he goes through and he's saying, I asked him about it at deposition and get him to either condemn it. He said concern it, so he corrects it here, or downplay the jelly bean incident. Either way, strategically, I guess he's saying either work strategically. I'd ask Vic about it at his deposition and force him to either endorse it or condemn it. Again, either one hurts him. The problem is they put him in a place with no good answer. Endorse or defend it, and he comes across remorseless and jerky. Condemn it, and he acknowledges that it's more problematic incident than his lawyer acted like. So, yeah, that's his plan then.
I guess super lawyer Casey Eric and Jay Sean Lemoyne. I don't know. Is Jay Sean a super lawyer? Have we determined that? I'm not asking for a dox. I'm just asking if he happens to be a super lawyer.
Yeah, translation, where does he live?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't understand how this works.
Don't mention farms in there.
Does it seem like they're trying to tie like Vic Mignogna through you to Kiwi Farms or something because that's what it seems like to me, because they're like bringing, well, they had that video because the New Zealand shooter and all this stuff. Like, it seems like they're trying to tie you to like the craziness that goes on.
Even if that's the case, none of it is relevant to the case specifically.
I know that's what blows me away.
Like, the only person that has an account there, let's go, not Nick. So
No,
exactly,
not me at all. So Jay Sean Lemoyne, I don't know if he's a super lawyer. I'm trying to.
I call him Lemoine. I think that's deserving of super lawyer title. Jay Sean Lemoine. This sounds fancy. Why not?
Yeah, I'm. Where did it go? I'm trying to find his stupid entry. Attorney.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I'm itching. This 20 minutes is taking forever.
It is.
The biggest hate boners they have are for the GoFundMe and Kiwi Farms, it seems.
Yeah, they really want that. It's funny to me. I don't really care. He's awards and honors. Texas super lawyers. So he is. He's a super lawyer also. Okay, so now we have 2 super lawyers against 1 super lawyer, and the 2 super lawyers, Jay Sean and Casey, apparently did not find that jelly bean incident to be of relevance to their line of questioning at deposition. So either they're right or Akiva's right. One of them must be smart, and one of them must not be smart according to Akiva, which I think it's rude of him to slag those other lawyers in that way.
I'm sure Ron was upset. He thought that was groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, he was so excited. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna send everything to our lawyers, and we got it now, boss."
The best was the picture. The best was the picture of you, Ty, and Vic smoking cigars, and Ron's like, "Got him."
They're together at a public place smoking a cigar. Game over.
He was talking about, like, literally, we're gonna take that to trial though, and we're gonna make
he said that verbatim.
I thought, wow, that's
crazy.
My thoughts are that they're trying to tie. I think I said this yesterday. They're trying to tie they're trying to tie me to Vic in a way where they will argue that as Vic's mouthpiece, that somehow that makes him a participant in the public discussion. Because they've put in there that he's a public figure. Funimation did. They put in there that he's a public figure because of his 2 tweets. As his career is going down in absolute flames from defamation, he makes 2 public statements. And they're like, yep, that's him participating. Now he's a public figure. Ignoring, of course, that the defamation would have occurred prior to the public figure status. But either way, now he's a public figure.
If they can get him as a public figure, I think there's a strong possibility they can at least get him as a limited one. Is that even going to matter that much?
I mean, I would suggest that Ty and company are prepared to make an argument including actual malice, and that I mean, I know they will because they're thorough, and they'll have to make the argument even if they think he's not a public figure, and they'll just argue in the alternative, right? That they'll argue that he's not a public figure, but in the alternative, if the court finds him to be a public figure, here and here and here and here and here, where we show malice. And but I think what they want to do is they want his participation in this to be linked to someone who actually did participate in it. right? Because then they've got him. Like if I'm his official spokesperson, then they've got him, and there's nothing that he could say that would say, well, I didn't actually really participate in the discussion. They'd be like, nope, you had your guy do it. That's not true. Unfortunately for them, that's not how it worked out. I was going to talk about it in my capacity just because that's what my channel is interested in. So,
Well, yeah, 'cause
the chat's railing us about the timer for the GoFundMe.
how
yeah,
much time is left?
Dude, we're still like. Give me 1 second. Let me check.
Yeah, it's. Did you enter like 200 minutes?
And it's about to go down. So yeah, we're close.
Remember, he didn't start the timer at the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
but
I started like sometime after you started talking about it. So like
the
we just
show
started
is
after the
way
show.
too. Shh.
Hey,
There's that
wait
too.
a minute. Don't you slander my show.
Not on the show, damn it! You're supposed to bitch and complain in the chat room like everyone else. Damn it! Let me get out there.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get it pulled up here, and then we'll.
Do you
we'll
find it
refresh.
creepy though how I guess reliant
minute left.
people are on Vic Mignogna? Like right now, you have people that fight for due process. You have people that fight for a guy that's a good dude. But these people on the other side of these Twitter lawyers, man, I don't know. I just find their addiction to this need for any type of publicity and any type of e-fame to be creepy in a lot of ways.
Well, the interesting thing is that's what they accuse us of doing. Whereas I would dispute that. I think that all of us are in various ways connected to this space. Me through the legal aspect of it, just in general, it's a legal case inside a fandom, which is what I've been covering for the past couple years. I mean, for the past.
You've been doing comics even for a long time, like
Right, comics since
Richard for beginning and
since May
Time's
of
up.
2018. All right, here we go. We're stopping. Hard stop. Remember when we left off is 192, 159. Let's see where we're at. Holy cats, we're at $194,740. So that was an awesome 20 minutes.
Big jump. That's
was
a big jump. Holy shit.
It's a big
Awesome.
jump in 20 minutes. So here we go. Do any of you guys want to do a sales pitch for the GoFundMe? Or do you want to do the next one? I mean, I can do one here, but if any of you guys want to do one, you're welcome to.
Nah, man, the floor is yours. Created February 19, 2019. Nick Rekieta on behalf of Beard Harris. I mean, who other than Nick Rekieta to market this GoFundMe? If we did it, it wouldn't have the same oomph to it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's true.
Fast away. Nah, fast away, man.
Fash away. Listen, guys. Again, we're here today specifically, and we're here to get right into Fundme time. Right? I think that's how that is. Get right into Fundme time. We're getting right into Fundme time today because specifically of how pissed off it makes the other side, how it just lights them up. And so I haven't actually done, I think people have asked me to do a GoFundMe shill stream. I haven't found a good occasion or I didn't want to ham fist it in there. It's weird for me to do that. It's not natural for me to do this kind of show, but their utter hatred and disregard for it has prompted me to come here and specifically ask for you, please donate to the GoFundMe. If it's within your means, please do it. This is just purely because it makes them mad, and of course supporting Vic. Those two things, and Vic would never ask you for your money. He never would. I think he even said that in his deposition. I'll if I can confirm that, I will. But that I think is where, if you saw in that email chain between Ty and Lemoyne that I covered yesterday and that you guys have been talking about, he says Vic disavowed the GoFundMe. That's an extrapolation of him saying, I never asked for money. Vic has never asked for money. I have asked for money on Vic's behalf to pursue this. to allow him the opportunity to do that in the most effective way. I'm not directing the legal strategy or anything like that. I'm just putting the money, and the reason I asked to do this and said, or asked is a weird way. The reason I said I want to do this, I want to bring money to this thing for your benefit, is because people were immediately asking me, how do I help Vic? How do we stop this stuff? What do we do? And so I said, people want to give money to Vic. Let's get a way for them to give money to Vic to fight against what's going on, what's happening to him. That's it. That's what happened.
Didn't he put out a statement in regards to the GoFundMe?
He did put out a statement.
Yeah.
It's right here. I'll bring it up. It's update 2. It was a very short statement, and that was because a lot of people were suggesting that I was
That you were stealing the money. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Vic's statement. See.
Oh, I also want to point out, I think it's important that everyone knows that we need enough money in there so that we can finish these cases and then sue Mars Girl. If you want to see Mars Girl get sued, we need enough money to beat Funimation and Soye and Moronica. So then we can sue Mars Girl, because he's not going to get any money from Mars Girl. The point is to just sue Mars Girl and put a lien on her 1980s Volkswagen.
I think Flash just brought this GoFundMe another $1,000 easy.
Let me put on the legal disclaimer to that. People before the show, someone asked about stretch goals and stuff like that.
Oh, now can we do a Mars Girl stretch goal?
No, and here's why. Thank you for your enthusiasm, Flash. But as the problem with promising a lawsuit against someone based on some sort of performance from a third party is that takes away the agency of the person who would be engaging in the lawsuit, and it takes away what might be a legitimate discussion about the best interest of their client. So we cannot attach some promise to this GoFundMe that Vic will sue someone because the money is there. That's not a thing that can be done. So I cannot say, well, at 200K he sues Mars Girl, at 300K he sues A&N. That's not a real thing. That's not anything that can be promised, because that decision has to be made between him and Ty, and that decision has to be made considering real factors like, is this in the best interest? You don't get to do lawsuits based on the factor of, can we get the money for it? I mean, certainly that plays into people's
now,
decisions.
what about this as a counter? After this hits 200,000, we're going to hit 200,000 with the promise of maybe doing a long arms defense fund. So we get this to 200,000, we do a long arms defense fund. I think that would help get it to 200,000 so that we could do that defense fund.
Well, that would be up to someone to do, for sure. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to get into the realm where anybody's under the impression that a certain dollar amount will guarantee a lawsuit against someone else. That would be a violation of some ethical rule somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
That's why we got to call it the long arms defense fund.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty ambiguous, I think.
Yeah. So to the other side that's watching, I mean, the comments that are made that are followed up with laughs, right? We're just joking around. It's similar to the jelly bean thing.
Right.
So we're not actually suggesting that, well, hey guys, if you get this thing to 200K, we're not trying to force, we're not trying to cater to this idea that, empty your wallets, that way we could sue Mars Girl. That's not the goal here. I mean, we're just laughing, we're having fun. The goal is to push the GoFundMe, obviously.
Yep.
But we're trying to do it through the same method, through the same means that started this idea, which is all of us being in the pursuit of truth. And I think that $197,000 or $194, whatever we racked up so far is evidence of that. So take what we're saying with a grain of salt. If we say something and it's followed up with a laugh, we're just joking more than likely. So don't go and say,
you're killing the meme.
Look, I know, I don't. Yeah, I know.
I know why.
I also get what Nick is saying, though. Yeah, I also get what Nick is saying. I mean, Vic has been under a lot of bullshit as it is. So the last thing for us, being the people that are like trying to, motivate people to support him properly. You know, I think that's kind of important too. So I think we kind of have that responsibility as well, if anything.
I think here's a good disclaimer for that then. I do not represent Vic Mignogna in any way, shape, or form. I represent me, and any asinine comment I say, I blame it on Nick Rekieta. No, I mean, wait.
I'll take that.
That's
blame.
true too.
The other thing is, of course, this GoFundMe, just in case it wasn't clear, this GoFundMe cannot and does not dictate any legal action that Vic can take. The GoFundMe has and the supporters have no influence over his actions that he takes in the suit. There's no like, well, if he gets to this amount, he won't settle or anything like that. Nothing like that exists. This just makes the funds available for him to use between him and his legal representation. That's it. That's it.
Somebody said in the chat, Mars Girl is a stretch goal. Have you seen those arms?
So let me read Vic's statement though. This is when he authenticated, I guess, the GoFundMe. Let people know that it wasn't a fraud. But this is important to remember. Words cannot express the depth of my gratitude for all the kindness and support that has been shown to me over the last few weeks. I had hoped that my apologies and acknowledgments, both public and private, would be received, but I have now very reluctantly retained a law firm as my last and only recourse to attempt to salvage my reputation in my 20-year career in this industry. A friend expressed a desire to set up a GoFundMe for legal expenses. I approved his kind offer and am so grateful, but I am not managing it, nor will I personally receive any of it. Any surplus will go to the Salvation Army, Dallas domestic violence and abuse shelters. I hold no malice toward anyone. I just love my work and the fans and sincerely wish it to continue. So ever the gentleman, Vic Mignogna, with that. So that's his statement. That's where he just verified that the GoFundMe is not some sort of scam or anything like that. And I understand why people were concerned at first, absolutely, because they didn't know how I would have any sort of relation to Vic and why I would be running the GoFundMe for it. And the reality is just it's simply because I set it up. That's why.
It's funny how things work out, because like when you started it, you're a thief, and now that you're backed by it, like I mean you're not monetarily backed by it, but you created it. It's been verified and authenticated.
Yeah, they were saying Nick,
we got to tie him to a lawsuit.
Nick was going to be riding around in a longboat and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
and they were doing that when it was at such a low number, like 35,000 or something like that, where it's like, oh, he's going to steal the money. It's like, what do you realize the implications of doing that? It would be ludicrous. It'd be career ending, both on YouTube and in law. I would be disbarred, almost guaranteed, and I would probably be arrested for federal fraud crimes. Right?
Yeah, but I think people are under the impression that like you would find some way behind it. People always look for some kind of reason to say, well, he's a lawyer, he knows the law in and out, and he'd find some way. He's look at that fast haircut that he has. He'd find some way. So it's I don't know.
But they were saying, oh, Vic's going to run away with that money. And it was like, are you kidding me? It's not.
That was nasty. Wasn't it Ron who was saying some stuff like that too?
Yeah. I mean, really think about how much money that is. It's a drop in the bucket for somebody with the resume that guy has. It's just like, man, are you really that poor? Or, I mean, what is that? Are you really that hateful?
They're that petty. That's what it is.
Yeah. They're jealous.
Nick, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Pertaining to so theoretical question, right? So pertaining to the whole I guess Funimation trying to label Vic as a public figure, with the title of or claiming him to be a public figure only apply to his standing now, considering how much I want to say spotlight he's gotten because of this case, how much coverage it's got, or would that only apply to the time of when he was being when he started the lawsuit? Because I think because he's gained a lot more following since this stuff happened, not prior to that. He already had a solid fan base, but going into all this stuff that's happening now, he's gained a drastic, overwhelming amount of support. So how would this title of public figure work exactly?
I think he would, his legal team would probably use that argument as best as they can to say, look, now, of course, that's going to satisfy part of the public figure test, right? People are talking about this in him, because of this going on. But your question is, at the time of the defamation, is he a public figure or not? right? Like
General,
that's
yes, yeah.
because that's a weird thing that's being overlooked in all this is when the defamatory statements are made and the damage is done, is he a public figure at that point? And I think that's a harder question. And I would imagine that BHBH will be arguing that no, of course, even if the court determines he's a public figure now, that they certainly wouldn't determine he was a public figure when the defamatory statements occurred. And you know, they'll have a battle over it. You cannot in 280 characters, even if you use those 280 characters 400 times a minute, right? You cannot fully flesh out this argument. It's just going to get lost in the miasma. You can't really do it on a YouTube stream either. It's going to be a combination of motions. It's going to be oral argument in court. There's going to be case law cited. There's going to be evidence presented that'll show when the tweets occurred and when, maybe they'd social blade and find out exactly where how many followers increased at what time and all of that stuff. The GoFundMe, I mean, people have suggested that the GoFundMe itself shows that he's a public figure, but the GoFundMe is...
But even if he's a public figure, what does it have to do with the fact that he got tortious interference, particularly with Kamea by
Well, that's
Ron?
why, because Funimation... Go ahead.
But if you look at those tweets, like Ron was tweeting about that, that was the great thing about that recent document is it showed that Ron had knowledge that was going down. Like, according to Tammy, before that was even going to go forth. Like the dates lined up. So it's like, obviously Ron had privileged information and was making some phone calls. Right. That's the same thing that happened with Richard Meyer.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And what's interesting is that we see that. So do courts, so do judges, so do juries. They see those weird coincidental chains where it's like, oh yeah, this guy just suddenly guessed what was going to happen, and just happened to be right. Well, did he? Or did he get that information from somewhere? Now, part of their argument, of course, is that nobody anywhere is employed by Funimation. Judging by the statement. I would beg to differ.
Here's the thing, though, Nick. Can't they look? So I don't know what Funimation's freelancer employee contracts are, but Sony's, I'm sure, is very extensive.
You may be surprised, but you may be surprised. But these guys that have been signing contracts under Sony. But I got a question for Emish, right? You've been you've been in the anime community certainly longer than me, and been around convention peeps and stuff like that. Do you know of any conventions where Funimation might have said no to a guest or no to some activity at the convention by one of the guests?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay.
I'm not aware of any.
I feel like I've heard that Funimation has either provided or pulled voice actors from some conventions at some point in history. Like,
well, what I will say is that the stuff that's happening, or that's that we've been seeing now, the only difference is now is that it's getting some actual legal spotlight. But this stuff isn't new. I think convention owners, so I've been told, like convention owners and con staff and, organizations that try to do things for people to come together, spend their money there and, just have a good time. They deal with this stuff all the time. So, for them to just treat Vic this way, you just look at the way that they're acting and it's pretty self-evident that this stuff isn't new. This behavior isn't new. They do a good job of putting on this facade to the people and giving out these speeches and, these motivational speeches to say, hey, well, yeah, we love you guys, so on and so forth. But there's a drastic difference. If you guys have met Vic as of late, there's a drastic difference. I'm sure Tug and you and Nick, if you see how Vic operated at Matsuri, this guy doesn't leave his table at all. And there's a difference between how he operates with his fans versus how some other selective voice actors operate.
Sean Schemmel.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy didn't even show up to Archon, right? For whatever reasons, right? So that, this stuff isn't new. I won't say that voice actors being pulled from conventions because of the same accusations isn't new. But what I will say is that the stuff in regards to, voice actors and people having and kind of flexing their power and their influence by using whatever, their marketing team, their agents, or their influence in the community. So when you guys look at Monica Rial, you think Bulma, well, yeah, nobody cares about Bulma, but it's not about Bulma. It's about the influence that the voice actor behind Bulma has, right? So that's what you look at, and you use that influence as a means to say, well, yeah, I don't want this guy, or I'm not feeling comfortable with this guy. Last year, I mentioned this to Flash not too long ago. We had an Instant Kamehacon 1 with Peter Kalamis and Sean Schemmel. Now, I'm not trying to bring spotlight to this specific event again, but this is, you guys can Google the stuff. You guys will find the screenshots. Peter Kalamis was, announced as a guest. And shortly after that, Peter Kalamis goes on Twitter, puts out a statement saying that he will no longer be able to attend Kamehacon, not because he chose not to come, simply he was told that he couldn't come for whatever reason. And if you look at the statement, because I'm pretty sure Flash is going to cover this soon. I'm not trying to spoil it to you guys, so check that out when it does come out. It's pretty self-evident that it was Sean Schemmel who influenced Peter Kalamis's ability to not come to the convention. Shortly after that, the fans who were coming to the convention who knew about it, we went in an outrage and we demanded that Peter Kalamis show up. And Peter Kalamis showed up. He showed up. He issued a statement saying that he will be there. Thank you guys for the support. So this behavior isn't new. The only difference is that you would look at Sean Schemmel and say Sean Schemmel is a lot more well-known than Vic because he's the voice of Goku. Like, everybody knows who Goku is, right? Even if you don't watch Dragon Ball, you know who Goku is.
Right.
But he's ingrained in pop culture.
Right. Exactly. But the difference here is that you would think something like that would have gotten a lot more spotlight, but it didn't because it was remedied extremely fast. Over here, you have something different. You have this idea of 2019 culture where, beanie wearing, snowflake, peach cups, just go on and levy accusations against people. And then you mix that into the anime community, a community that we don't want to deal with that. We just want to meet Goku. We just want to meet the voice of Broly from that kick-ass movie we just saw in January. That's all. So when you kind of poison the fandom with this bullshit, this is what you get. So yeah, sorry for the rant, the long tangent, but no, I'm not aware of any specific things like, in regards to specific voice actors, but I can say that this behavior isn't new at all.
Well, there was Kamehacon had an interesting development. There was a Prince of All Saiyans tour, and then there wasn't a Prince of All Saiyans tour.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard, I don't know if you have heard the same things, Emish, but I have heard that that was a result of pressure from both Toei and Funimation. That Funimation maybe suggested that the property could not be used in that way.
Yeah, what I heard was pressure. There was a lot of bitching, a lot of bullshit spewing from the mouths of X amount of people, and they just decided to just say, well, I guess we have to record. We're scheduling, we had to schedule the recording in the studio so people can't go. And I mean, for those of you guys with a brain, for those of you guys who spend your hard-earned money on this stuff, that's bullshit. And with the Vic stuff aside, it's bullshit. That they don't just suddenly have a recording scheduled for the studio. This stuff it's scheduled, planned, and dated to say, hey, we got people coming to this studio because they paid X amount of money. It's going to make a killing. It's going to put a lot of money in people's pockets. It's great for everybody. And all of a sudden, well, in the midst of all this drama, and it's unfortunate for the people that didn't know about the drama going on because they legitimately thought that they'd be able to go to the studio, just to be suddenly told that, well, we had to cancel it. What it does is it doesn't make Sabbath look bad. It made the convention look bad. It made the fandom look bad. It made the people who would look forward to spending their money on this brand of convention look bad. And a lot of people were disappointed. So yeah, I've also heard similar things.
I don't have anything from, just real quick, I just want to say, I don't have anything from Toei, but there's a guy I talk to regularly from Japan that does a lot of, I can't say who he is, so, but he does a lot of like video game and anime he's not really a big name, but he was at a convention in Japan or somewhere near Japan, and Ryu, the guy Vegeta, plays Vegeta, and a few other people were there. They all know what's going on, and they think the American voice actors are very childish, and they're very disappointed in the way everyone's acting over here. So if they know about it, I'm pretty sure like Toei is not happy about this.
This stuff had a big impact, though. I mean, we've actually had a huge impact in the fact that when this all started up, you had a document, the Broken Staircase document. It ballooned up to about
by Derek Padula, by the way. Yeah.
Do what? I'm sorry.
Derek Padula wrote that article that you're talking about. A Dragon Ball.
Well,
He's a
the
Dragon Ball.
document that was attached to it, though, the broken staircase document that it started out with 34 names on it, and it ballooned up to 78. Well, after the litigation fell, that document suddenly disappeared. People were afraid of being sued. They had planned on going after 78 people that are in the anime community. There were 3 voice actors that ended up on there. I know Kaplan was one. People were talking about Schimmel, and I can't remember who else. But I mean, there were so many people that they're in the crosshairs of all of these people. And right now, even though they're really loud on Twitter, they're still afraid. They're afraid of being sued. So if nothing else came from this, it at least put them on their heels. They're not leaning in and attacking this community. They know that maybe there could be a repercussion, and I think that's good. I think I lot of this mindset.
For sure. I agree. Nick, we're at 20 minutes again.
Okay.
Speaking real quick, did you guys see Sean Schemmel was retweeting Mars Girl, and then I think Tug tweeted out that thing where she was like, somebody said, "What about Sean Schemmel?" I was like, "I don't know. I've heard rumors, but he didn't talk about it later." And then he unretweeted her.
Yeah. I tagged him into it. And he didn't seem to like the fact that they were talking about possibly calling him a pedophile online. So he's like, I'm going to unretweet it.
Yeah, these people need to be real careful about who they choose for allies, because their allies don't like them. They're allies of circumstance, not of principle.
And that's the thing. Like, even if I don't like these people, I would be an ally of principle. If I'm disgusted by the behavior of some of these people, but if they end up in the crosshairs of this lynch mob, hey, that's not okay. You're allowed due process too, and that should at least be, they should understand the linchpin of everything that we've talked about. But of course, maybe a few of them are starting to wake up to that. You really never know.
All right, here we go. We're gonna refresh this. Last we checked, it was 194,740. Again, that was 20 minutes ago. Here we go. We're now 196,478. Wow. So still kicking up there. Thank you all again.
Still shilling. Still fashion.
Let me combine what I was talking about with the Funimation thing. One of their arguments, of course, is that no one's an employee or agent of them, right? But employment isn't a matter of saying someone is an independent contractor or not. Employment legally it's a legal question, and there's an actual test for it. Some stream I'll probably go through the test for employee and the test for agent, just so people understand how you argue these things. But they say that these voice actors, they have no control over them, that that they're not employees, they're just independent contractors and whatever, man. But I think that they're underselling how much impact. And the short answer of how you determine if someone's an employee is how much control you have over them. Now, I would wager that Funimation can tell someone who's going to represent, like Vic, right? He's the voice of Broly. That they might be able to say, if he were still under contract, yeah, you can't be the voice of Broly, or like you can't go represent yourself as the voice of Broly, or something like that. I think one of the reasons they maybe haven't done that is because they don't want to look like an employer to him, because then they might be an employer to other people. But I think Funimation retains a good amount of control over the property that they license out. And if they do, and they exert that control over voice actors, that changes the calculus on whether or not they're an employee. So I just want to kind of get that out there. I think if people look hard enough, they may find examples where Funimation has flexed on voice actors or on conventions, and by leveraging the availability of their voice actors to go to those conventions. And if that's the case, they may be employees, or it lends towards the possibility that they're not just independent contractors. Because if they can say, well, in your free time, no, you can't go do this. Well, why not? I'm just an independent contractor.
What
well,
if? Yeah. Go ahead. Finish your point.
No, it was just well, you can't do it. That's what I'm. It's a question. they're making very conclusive statements, both in the motion practice, and that's how lawyers operate. That's normal. And the lawyers on Twitter are being a little incomplete in their analysis. If I'll be a little critical by suggesting, they're not agents or employees, because they said not. It's like, well, it's.
I like the idea though that free agent, or freelancer rather, with that's something like a 1980s diplomatic immunity from like a 1980s action flick. No, you can't stop me. I have a freelancer status. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
But it is that time to obligatorily say, hey, here we are. You're here tonight. You're here tonight to be shilled too. So be the shilly that you are and fork over some cash to the GoFundMe if you're available. Please remember, every dollar that goes in is a tear, a soy-filled tear from the eyeballs of Ron Toye being lapped up by Casey as he is not getting paid. He's getting paid in soy tears that he's licking up or whatever. That's a joke. I don't know that he's not getting paid, but I have a strong
What's your
suspicion.
estimate to how much they've racked up now? I've been curious.
40 to 60 grand.
Wow.
That's insane. Speaking of Casey, look at the most recent donation.
look,
I know
Casey.
it's not really him, but look.
Oh wait, no, that's definitely him. We can tell. we have the tools. Remember, they part of their plan is to depose me about the list of donors, right? That they want to know the donors to the GoFundMe.
Gotcha.
They want to ask me questions about it. So I'll just answer that Casey Eric himself.
Information though, like
you can't just give out donor information. Plus, well, no, I can. This is definitely Casey Eric, so we know that. But,
We just need Akiva Cohen now.
Oh, is he in there too?
I said we just need him now. I haven't noticed him yet, but it'd be funny if he was.
I would be surprised if he's not in there already.
I think we have it under good authority.
Here's another Casey Eric.
He's really coughing up that money, Nick.
Thank you, Casey.
Big one from Haskell Barnett, Abram Brandween.
Yeah, quite a few people dropped like 200.
Donate.
Vic Sexy, totally not gay pants. Thank you for that. And guys, I hear there's some funny stuff going on in the comments. I'm not going to bring the comments up because we'll get wrapped up. Oh, here's Shane Holmberg. Shane, very generous of Shane Holmberg. So you guys would have to. You guys may enjoy the comments as you listen to us in the background.
Wait, can you go back to Shane? Can you go back to Shane? Let me see their profile picture.
Right there. What's funny
Who's
about that? There you go, guys. I mean, here you can see the donations. You can see who's doing it. I know they want me to turn over this publicly available information, but they can see that Casey Eric donated. All they have to do is go to the page. They can just look. Why
are some names in green?
I think they have existing GoFundMes that they've created, or creator pages.
Okay.
So you can go see their GoFundMes there. James Taylor, very famous singer, James Taylor. Ron Soye has donated as well.
I hear Jamie Marshy goes by anonymous sometimes, so I think that's all her.
That's got to be her. I can't think of who else it would be. And she's a very prolific donator, which is great. Thank you, Miss Markey, for doing that. So Ron Soye dropped a couple. Remember, as of last call, 196, 478. So please, again, continue to contribute. You're here to be shilled to. You're being shilled to. We're fulfilling our end of the deal on this. Although I do have to get to super chats because I think people do have comments for us that we can address there as well. So I'm going to switch off the screen share until the next one, and then let's hit some of these chats. Adam GBK1 says, more like GoFundMe, bonkers, man. Yeah, GoFundMe. I like it. Nixhex says, Rackets, can you please explain to the chat what it means for a law firm to be expired? This is Shane's new gotcha. That's a misunderstanding of a requirement for a Minnesota business to renew its certificate of assumed name. I forgot to. So thanks for pointing that out. I was able to renew my certificate of assumed name. It's really, it's really necessary if you are bringing suit against someone on behalf of a business, and you should have it. It slipped my mind, and I don't know why. I checked for a notification for the expiration. I don't have one, so oh well. But it's updated now, and it's all rectified. So my law firm is apparently unexpired. It's unexpired. If that's Shane's new gotcha, then well, power to him. Power to him.
That
Thank
was
you.
also, I think Greg's new gotcha too.
Wow. Greg Doucette suggested that that I don't do any business and can't have any clients because of the expired assumed name thing. I mean, he can suggest that all he wants. That doesn't make it true or a correct analysis.
It just really says a little bit about the people talking about all of this stuff, that maybe the people that don't research things might not have the greatest grasp of all of these subjects.
Well, and actually, I got to come clean, guys. I'm lying completely. We lost the case again. I'm sorry. Lost the case because of that. It's over. It's over. So I just wanted to, that's what happened. The case is lost. So that's the real impact. But yeah, so it's just a filing when you do business as a name other than your own in Minnesota, you need to have the assumed name, and that way people know, who you are, like who's behind that business. So that's it. Sakud1 says, Nick, I have a court date coming up on the 17th in Connecticut for disturbing the peace and risk of injury. Minor was in the car. I need an attorney that can help me stay jail-free and misdemeanor-free. Left you a message. I can't practice criminal law in Connecticut. I don't know if I know anyone up there. I'll check through my contacts and see what I got, buddy. Mike Walter says, I wanted to let everyone know that I donated to Vic's GoFundMe a little while ago. I've been wanting to do so for a while now, but was never sure when was the best time to do it. So I just figured I would go for it. Hope it helps. And it does. It does very much. Texan83 says, how much interest in a Koran high school badge end grain cutting board? An Oran, not Koran. That's a little bit different. An Oran high school badge end grain cutting board. I'm considering making one and sending to Tug or someone to auction with all monies to the GoFundMe. Maybe 2 and 1 goes to Vic. Just an idea at the moment. Listen, I'm waiting on an email back, guys, to see if we can run promotions like that. GoFundMe, they have a policy that says that no promotions can be run using the GoFundMe without their express permission. I don't actually think that auctioning something off and donating the money, the proceeds from that auction item to the GoFundMe qualifies for what they're talking about. I think they're talking about something different. But in an abundance of caution, as I have operated this GoFundMe from an abundance of caution from the start, we're waiting for a response on that, because I do have the knives that I want to auction off through the GoFundMe. By just asking people to donate and stuff like that. So
yeah, I was gonna get some stuff signed at the Bubba Festa auction if we can do that, if that's possible.
Right. So
I've got like 3 or 4 posters, and I've got that demand sober lawyers thing. But yeah, we want to follow the letter of these rules. I mean, just to make absolutely sure. And
I have asked their promotion department specifically for permission. As soon as we get permission on it, it's go time. It's go time. So but I want to make sure we're entirely in the clear, because as you can tell, this thing burns them up. It burns them up. So
I just don't know, how does Ron have this much money? I don't think
he does.
All he does is sell real estate, right? Like,
nobody,
is there that much money in that you can just fish out 40 grand?
The bill goes up, and then at the end of the suit, you're billed.
Yeah.
So you have your retainer. I mean, most lawyers, you would pay your retainer, and then they would rack up the money, depending on the services, and then over the course of time, you would be billed accordingly. I don't.
Usually, they want that money when the retainer runs out. You got to give them more money.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go for child support, but custody and when that retainer runs out, they're coming for more money, man.
Yeah. The problem.
Nobody's got money they just want to lay out like this anyway. Even if you have it, how many people have $100,000 in FU money to throw around just because they're trying to hold off some litigation? I mean, they may put on a brave face, but yeah, they don't have this to just throw around.
That's what I was saying. When people are making a big deal out of me saying, you might want to think about settling, it wasn't like a threat to them that they have to settle. It wasn't legal advice. It's like that's the reality you're in, is that you might need to think about settling because you can't afford these suits. And it doesn't mean that the suit, like people are trying to twist this into the suit is only brought to cause them financial harm. Nope. The reality of filing a suit is that if you fight it, there is financial harm. And you may recover fees if you win at TCPA, but if they don't win at TCPA, I would be really interested to see what happens with their legal team. They've got 3 law firms working on this. Those law firms are not going to be like cooperative on the billing splits. Like, oh yeah, well, I mean, just forget those 5 hours I put in because, you know, we're a team and we're working together. Though each of those law firms is going to be demanding from their associate attorneys or partners that they account for the time that they spend working on a case with other law firms. There's no benefit. Like, there's no like, well, if you forego this as the firm, if we kind of overlook a couple hours here and there, we'll be building goodwill and trust with this client, because who's getting the goodwill and trust with the client? There are 3 different firms competing for it. So
Actually,
I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Renfamous Gunt for donating $100.
oh my goodness, Renfamous Gunt, that's great. Thank you.
That's disgusting.
I was wondering. I always wondered, like, you know, Ron put up something a while back after he got a lawyer. He talked about, you know, if we get to a certain point about settling, he seemed agreeable to that. I wonder if his lawyer at the beginning said, hey, you might want to think about, you know, settling out of court.
I would wager he had that discussion. I mean, it would be a standard discussion. Well,
Right.
you know, what's a settlement cost you for money? What's a settlement cost you for your reputation? Is it a possibility? Would you do it? You might want to make this thing go away if it's not too damaging to you, because otherwise this thing's going to take a while. It's going to be rough. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be expensive. I mean, I would assume Casey had that conversation with them, because every lawyer has that conversation with their clients. This is going to suck. It's going to cost a lot of money, and you may not win. And if
So
you're
there's
not
2
having
things.
that conversation,
Yeah, and we know where this is going. So there's 2 things, right? So one, I remember Ty himself mentioned on one of your streams that even he can't afford this kind of, you know, these kind of lawsuits himself.
no,
You know,
I
and
mean,
it just goes to show that these people, there's a problem here, and the problem is that they're listening to who is saying what's being said, and not what's being said, and then who's saying it.
Right.
So when you were mentioning consider settling, it's a threat. Oh, Nick is he's begging for us to settle. What's he hiding? No, it's not, and it's not even legal advice. It's advice anybody would give you. And then the second point I want to mention is that it's obvious that it's about public opinion. That's worth more. It's worth the money that they have and the money that they don't have. And that's why they're going through every effort to try to like stall, to burn through resources, and in some hope of safeguarding some kind of public opinion that they've already tarnished themselves. You know, this guy
Fighting someone-
forgot 376 tweets. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that.
fighting
So-
someone with a $200,000 head start, I mean, that's like taking a little rowboat up against a cruise liner. If your goal is to run out resources, I mean, that's an uphill battle. So there you go. More fuel for the spike fountain. The Oni2 says, so what I hear you saying is that by increasing the lawyer fees, they're not just trying to run up costs, they're taking money from good charitable cause. Yep. There you go. That's a good way to look at it. Those rude people. They hate battered women so much they're trying to take their charity money. Let me suggest, Flash, you were asking earlier how much I think they are in for, and I said something like 40 to 60, right? Last week at depositions, you know, if you start going through having 3 lawyers, having the amount of time that they spent at deposition, I mean, just in deposition, you've got, I think, 16 to 18 hours, like literally physically at the deposition, doing the deposition. You've got a couple court hearings on those days. You've got, so 16 to 18 hours per attorney who's present, right? And then you've got a couple court time, a little court time in there, maybe 5 to 10 minutes per day. That gets added in. Then you've got travel time. Then you've also got prep for the deposition. So you have to prep your team to ask Vic questions. They have to prep their own defendants to answer questions, to say I don't recall or whatever they're going to say. They have to prepare all that. And you typically figure that you're going to spend about as much time prepping as you're going to spend at deposition, sometimes maybe more. So an estimate on the hours, even if you just take a bare bones estimate, you've got at least two lawyers at 16 hours each. That's just deposition time. Casey and Lemoyne.
How much? What if Ron has an umbrella policy?
I don't know that his insurance policy is going to cover him for an intentional act, and defamation's an intentional act. It's possible, but many of the statements. Is he going to say he made those statements from home? How is that related to his homeowner's policy? His insurance company sure isn't going to want to pay $100,000 in legal fees to a third-party attorney. They'd probably send their own attorney to represent themselves.
So you didn't get the add-on policy, like fire, flood, and tweeting from home damage. I've never.
Right. Yeah.
Umbrella policies take care of like defamation. I have an umbrella policy. I got one when I started YouTubing, so it supposedly will protect you from lawsuits.
Well, if their insurance company was involved in this, I think their insurance company's lawyer would be present somewhere.
That's a very good point.
I don't know that their policy would specifically cover. I mean, it depends on, maybe it depends on the defamation. I don't know. Without looking at it, I'd have no idea. But I would be real wary of saying, and my insurance will cover it, because insurance companies don't like paying out. I mean, they really don't.
They want you to just give them money. You got to hassle with them for sure.
Right. So Casey might be suing an insurance company next, and if he loses that, then they're really out a lot of money. But we'll see. But just think about this: 16 hours minimum for the two attorneys. That's 32 hours. Now let's say how much do they? What's their rate? We don't know their rate, but let's get out the calculator.
That's a lot of money, though, to want to call a guy a pedophile online.
They're super lawyers.
So
they're super lawyers, so they're paying,
If it's 32 hours and they're at the rate between them is $300 an hour each, or that comes out to $9,600. So 32 times 300 is 9,600. I doubt they're $300 attorneys. These are partners, sort of. They're above associate status. I think Jay Sean is a partner, and Casey is some level of partner. They're in the Dallas Metro. These guys are probably $500 plus attorneys per hour.
That's crazy.
That's not counting Andrea's time. Andrea Perez, her time would be added to that, and that's just literally the time in the courtroom is the 16 hours, and that's a very, very conservative estimate. Double it for prep. Right there, you're at 20 grand, pushing 30 for the weekend, or for the week, just for depositions. Just for depositions, you're looking at 20 grand. Every motion that they have to write up and file, that's hours. That's hours. If these guys are $500 an hour, every motion that they draft, I think you're an hour to 2 hours minimum. They've got citations in there. All of those emails are time. Every email is billed at least 1/10 of an hour, most likely. It's absurdly expensive. It's absurdly expensive.
So here's an idea.
Yeah.
Monica Rial bathwater.
Oh my God, no. No. Is that flammable?
Was it oil? Like,
I don't
A
want to know
lard?
why, but I think that's the only use for it is burning it. That sounds horrible. Mythos Irving says, I just saw Shazam, great movie, but I can't get clap lightning with my clap out of my head. Dang it, Zachary Levi. Plastic Seal says, love the show. Trying to get advice. My workers' comp lawyer is ignoring me / not helping for a year now. All medical bills are going to collections. He keeps saying he's refiling the case. Don't know what to do. Thanks, man. Hey, email me, pal. Maybe you need a new workers' comp lawyer, and I think I could get you a referral or two. So just email me. Kita says, "Are you aware the GoFundMe was blacklisted on Google/DDG per Farms DuckDuckGo? It apparently now appearing again on Google, still doesn't on DuckDuckGo. Can find people talking about it in some non-US GFM URLs like the UK site. I don't know why
think
it
that's
would be.
intentional. I think it's just because it's older.
I think, yeah, it's older. I think, and maybe this is a mistake in hindsight, letting it hit the $100,000 goal. Once it hit that $100,000 goal and I increased it to 200,000, it got taken off of trending, even though it was still trending.
Yeah, when you update, it refreshes. So the way like social like media and these websites works, it's I have general knowledge, so it's based on social signals. So depending on where people click on the website from another website, so if it's from Twitter, if they're directed from Facebook, so on and so forth, once it hits that goal and you update it, it tends to send like some kind of signal to the website directly saying that it's been updated, and then it refreshes and starts over, and then people have to start coming back to it. So because after the $100,000 mark, it kind of like we had like an influx of how active it was, how much activity it was getting. That may or may not be responsible as to why it may have appeared that the actual GoFundMe and pertaining to the actual link itself or website itself may have appeared to have been blacklisted, but it wasn't. I doubt it.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, and again, I mean it's impossible to know, but there's also there is a conflicting problem, and I know you guys. Well, I assume you guys have seen this. There's a lot of stuff about Vic out there, and so getting Vic content up the SEO ladder is hard because there are older things that get a lot of boost because they've been shared on Reddit, they've been shared all over the place, particularly popular videos or events or articles they'll get like when they get shared around on some of these other platforms and backlinks are added to them, that gets them pushed up the rankings on Google. So sometimes it actually has this weird effect of pushing down some of the newer stuff that comes out. I don't know if you guys have seen that as much, but I noticed it on YouTube and Google that if you just look into Vic Mignogna, you're not always getting the newest stuff. It's just a product of how the algorithm works out.
Yeah, there's also the possibility of like potential backlinks. Like people can spam like really bad quality backlinks to that link to the specific website. That's also another possibility. For example, I don't want to get too much into it, but if you tie that specific GoFundMe to shitty backlinks like porn websites and like inactive blog posts and article websites and stuff like that, it kind of like Google would send it like a negative kind of social signal. It's entirely possible. I don't think that's the case considering how much support it's gotten, and that's where it comes down to the fandom as a community. Just really grabbing that torch and saying, hey guys, donate to this, sharing this on Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. That in and of itself helps get the GoFundMe to where it needs to be. So even if it was blacklisted, considering how much support it's gotten collectively, monetarily especially, I don't think it's that much of a concern, in my opinion at least.
Right. And the best way, by the way, the best way to counter that blacklisting, if there is some sort of blacklisting, is to just share it on your own social media. Share it. Let people know it's out there. Because that's, you share that stuff on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram or whatever, and then that your people see that, period. That's just how it goes. Or they have the opportunity to see it, right? So there's that. Ryan Mercado says, I might have to draft an indictment on top of the wanted poster for Akiva. God, Akiva tweets so much, it's obvious he's in for the clout. I can give it to you guys if you wanted it. That's up to you, man. Ryu Sketches says, happy 4th of July, all. Just wanted to let you know that Riot Games had started to replace Vic's voice lines in the game. Vic voiced Lee Sin and Malzahar, and the new voice actor for Lee Sin doesn't capture the same feeling.
Oh, I heard that he got replaced from League of Legends, too. Hero hated a video on that today, that they just kind of stealthily replaced him in that game.
Yeah, and I'm hesitant to talk about like what happened with that stuff because I don't know the cause. It's interesting to speculate on it. But like for example, he was recast in some Sega game, like a Sonic type game or whatever a while back, and then it turned out they had recast like the whole game. So
Yeah, but that was a whole new addition to that series. League of Legends hasn't changed.
right.
That's the same game that's been around for years. They just up and replaced them. If it was like a League of Legends 2, I would see that, but it's not. It's the same game. They just up and just changed them out.
Sure.
The
Now, I have no
history-
idea what happened. So
The Sonic racing games that he did, like they've changed the actors multiple times. They were probably just getting cheaper people. That would be my guess for that.
Yeah.
We're
We don't
20
know.
minutes in, by the way.
Oh, 20 minutes. Oh, right. Well, let's do the
You gotta check the donors again, man. There's got to be some more.
Sure.
I'll check them again.
Renfrist's Gunt. Dominique's Gunt
disgusting.
donated $10. Thank you, Dominique's Gunt.
Oh,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
nice.
That's horrible.
197,887. So we're almost up to that 198,000 mark. You guys are crushing this GoFundMe. A brand new Audi donated 10. Judge Chup donated $10. Thanks, Judge.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Thanks for giving us.
We should sell the tears of these people now. Forget the bathwater.
Yeah.
Selling the tears.
Lawyer Tears. Doug Tenaple.
You're
Copyright.
eating the souls of Shane's shoes.
Yeah, the uneaten souls of Shane Shoes. We've got Dominique's Gun. Richard Nixon, not a crook. Andrea Perez, backstabbing Casey a little bit. Seems rude.
Oh, Earl Grey. I see that one. Thank you. I love Earl Grey.
Perez is all over it. Stealing
Ron's
Shane.
Ron's
That's
SUV. That guy in the cage for $69.
Oh, the cage. Remember the cage? Oh, yo, Tug, you remember that?
Oh yes, very much so.
Oh my God. And I see Hillary Clinton there as well.
Yeah.
That cage thing was really that was interesting. Yeah, we found out a lot more about some of these people than I ever wanted to know.
Monica Buttmaster. That's good. Kiwi Farms, trying to get deposed there. Escher Schill. See Escher in the chat. Thank you so much.
Allegedly, Casey Eric.
Allegedly,
$100.
Casey Eric. There's Renfamous' Gunt. That's disgusting. Donald Toye.
Everybody's good.
Akiva Cohen, very generous. $1 for each child.
Can we get Monica's bathwater now and the tears of whomever?
Well, Monica's bull is even on it, so that's
What about Nick's haircut?
his haircut? See. Who else we got?
Chris Williams, the $100. That's great. Another Philo Raftalia. Oh, nice. Zero reference. There we go.
Casey Eric with a 20. Narwhal Long Arms.
Twice.
Oh gosh, it hurts. It hurts. Okay, we're back to where we were before.
Yeah. So $500. Is that a $500 right there?
Yeah, that was Haskell. Haskell
Holy
dropped
shit.
the 500 earlier. That was
So
amazing.
like I'll say this right now: if we manage to somehow hit the $200,000 mark or get like really, because we're really close to it, I just want to say thank you guys. I mean, it's been an honor to be a part of this stream if that's the case, for sure.
Yeah, this is crazy. You guys are doing putting in work on this, and we appreciate it very much. Also, the other lawyers don't appreciate it at all. They really, really hate it. And I can't say that enough, how much they hate it. And so, as is required by the rules of the stream, let me specifically ask you to make them hate it just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. You're here, again, for the purpose, the express and intended purpose of getting money into this GoFundMe. This is like an old school telethon. We're doing it. We're trying to raise money for this GoFundMe. So thank you for everybody who's donated. Now, everybody who hasn't, you consider donating too. If it's within your means, please do so. Please do so. And share in the tears of salty lawyers nationwide. Nowhere will the vast majority of people have the opportunity to ruin a lawyer's day that is better than this one.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. So, and lawyers are scum. Make no mistake, the worst people on earth are lawyers, and lawyers are the worst people on earth. So ruining their day is great. It's a noble endeavor.
What are you trying to say, Nick?
We start the timer now.
You know,
start
actually,
the timer
what
now.
What's funny is a lot of people forgot how scummy lawyers could be. You know, we've been dealing with people like yourself or Ty, and I thought people were, they were shocked when they deal with law Twitter.
Law Twitter is an interesting entity. I mean, it really is, and again, the clout chasing is real. The fact that there is a law Twitter community should tell you enough that being a voice. And look who they're always trying to get to talk to them. Popat.
Popat blocked me.
Oh, yeah. Popat blocks everybody. Popat blocked me, and I didn't even tweet to him.
He blocked me way back in the Comicsgate days, actually. He blocked me like a year ago, that guy. I didn't even know who he was until recently.
Was that when...
I feel left out now.
Was that when Zayd was going nuts?
No, this was before Zayd. Because I saw somebody was talking to him and I was blocked. I'm like, who is Popat? And I didn't really know who he was until now, with everyone like worshiping him like he's a god.
He's a angry, which I like. That's not a slight. Not a slight. He's an angry, witty, very experienced, and very knowledgeable lawyer who practices primarily, if I understand it right, in federal criminal defense. He writes very well. He's articulate. He's insightful and knowledgeable, and he's one of the staples of online legal explanations for people. I don't want to besmirch like the reputation of Ken White. Not that I think that he would care. I just want to point out that like he's a smart, sharp, funny guy, and it's no wonder that he's very, very popular. But there are a group of orbiters, and it's law Twitter suffers from it, and Ken White is certainly not infallible. As you can ask, not White Hat, I think is the @ of his former friend, who is a little bit more right leaning than Ken is. Ken really kind of went off the rails after Trump got elected, and a lot of his free speech positions kind of so to speak, but yeah. So law Twitter, they have their own community, they have their own value system within that community, and never mistake the value of the clout, the value and the enthralling intoxication of getting that recognition from someone you've looked up to. It's part of us.
How you get that cloud, though, Twitter, you got to either add buzzwords in or you've got to treat people like absolute trash. That's what I've learned from Twitter. You either have a following coming in from somewhere else, like, people know you from YouTube and they come and talk to you or whatever, or if you're just Twitter based, you're probably going to treat people like garbage.
If only Twitter were based. Based in red-pilled Twitter. Would be great.
I can't even imagine that, because everything that even comes close to being red-pilled is, off Twitter.
Goru says, my Cuck Lightyear account got suspended for impersonation. I guess Greg isn't fond of people exercising their First Amendment rights and making parody out of his likeness.
Yo, hey, somebody's saying we hit 200,000, so I know that's not on the timer.
No, we didn't. I've been kind of cheating, looking at some of the recent donos, and I think we're gonna like once the 20 mark hits, we're gonna like what we see. I think okay. In regards to the donations, like the names and stuff like that.
We're disciplining ourselves, and for the stream, we're gonna refresh it every 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
It just adds to the drama, the suspense. Let's see. Sexy bearded Viking wizard, the badass Aussie says, on the subject of bathwater. Well, that's normal. Saw an article on Twitter that a guy was hospitalized for drinking purchased bathwater. Lol. What's the laws over there on mailing biohazard materials? I think you can actually, well, on mailing them, I don't know. I think the only time distributing biological material is improper. I mean, generally speaking, is if there's no knowledge that it's being done. Like you squirt your vein onto some pizza you're making, that's a no-no. Don't do that. spitting in food or spitting in a drink, that's a no-no.
Wait. Did you say something about squirting your vein on pizza? What?
Yeah, like
Well,
bleeding. Yeah,
yeah,
basically bleeding.
You don't want to.
I don't know. Like that has a lot of weird meaning.
Yeah, I know. The example he gave was pretty questionable, but yeah.
I mean, how much time do we have on that timer, Amish?
We have 14 minutes and 45 seconds right now.
14:45, but like we can't wait. I'm sorry, we can't wait. This is too real.
Bust it now?
Well, I'm doing it now. We're doing it live.
All right, let's do it.
$200,595.
Holy
Who did
shit.
the big donation?
We, like Hillary Clinton, have shattered the glass ceiling. Is there a huge donation that came in?
Holy shit.
There had to have been.
Or is it
Yeah,
just...
it has to.
Is it just a... I mean, there's a bunch of... Whoa!
Oh, dude,
Ding-
Ding Dong Head.
Ding Dong Head closes the deal with a
Yo,
$2,000
guys,
donation.
how's it going? Can you hear me?
Wow,
Hey,
Ding Dong
what's up,
Head,
hero?
man.
Buddy,
Time hero, hey.
you hit it. We just hit 200K.
We hit 200K?
Yeah,
No way.
We did just
We're
now.
actually $595 over the 200,000.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I don't know if you can hear me that well. I'm in the car, but I wanted to join really quick. I'm heading back from Anime Expo.
Yeah, man. You're coming through clearly. I mean, we could tell you're in a car and not on your normal mic, but you sound great. You sound great.
Oh, excellent. Well, congratulations to everybody. That's amazing. 200K. Oh my God.
It's crazy. It's great. Shane Holmberg's micro penis donated $5.
Arm is Bill's right arm.
We got Yellow Flash's gun too for 10.
Nice. Holy shit, man.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what to do or say. I mean, this is so cool. Jay Sean Lemoyne, he's even in here for $100.
Monica's what? What does that say?
Blue
Monica's
waffle.
Monica's. We got Monica's.
Hero Hayes
bath
Gee also donated $10.
Oh gosh, look at all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Monica's bathwater.
Monica's third bowl.
We've got.
Monica's Blue Waffle.
I'm getting like repeats. It's weird. Brittany Mars, Ashley Hughes, Nick Rekieta's Bennis. That's true. An alt-right Nazi donated $20.
Well, those Twitter lords are really going to hate that one.
Greg Doucette CPAP in for $10. Okay, well, I had to do that update. I had to. We'll keep on schedule for the rest of the stuff. So there's no reason to stop at 200,000. You know, we don't know how much these things will cost. So I can't say it enough. Every dollar, right, pisses off these guys more and more and more. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna shill this thing the whole stream. So Hero, while we have you, what's up? Oh wait, what's up,
Yeah,
Amish?
absolutely.
I'm sorry. Should I restart the timer or pick it up from where we left off?
We'll pick it up. We'll keep going. Keep going.
And just a heads up, Nick, I'll be on for about 10 minutes. And, you know, once I get there, I'll drop out and crash for the night.
Okay. Well, take your 10 minutes. Use it now. Use it wisely.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad to be here, and the timing's crazy to, you know, hit 200K. I was thinking to join and talk about the GoFundMe a little bit and hopefully hit 200K before I got to go, but I guess that's a thing, so.
It's like right as you came on. Good job.
Yeah, hey.
You did it. You did it.
You know what? It feels good to be useful for some things, so.
So how was Anime Expo?
You know, it's going pretty well. I showed up late. I got there like 5 p.m. and luckily the lines were pretty much gone. So I missed the madness from today, but it was good. Talked to some people from the community, had some drinks, and that was that.
Did you run into Arms Girl?
Luckily, no, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's there. I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't live too far from there, so. But you know, it's easy to keep an eye out for that.
Right. You just look for the long shadows.
Exactly, the long shadows, or because the convention's really packed, right? So if you see groups of people falling down, tripping over something, you know not to go that way.
How are there shadows? It's 1 a.m. The sun isn't even out. It is where her arms are, though.
Estimates that eyes on the road, young man.
this is LA. I mean, you don't really look at the road when you drive. You just kind of
Don't you just shoot at the road?
Yeah, you try to get like 10 feet every 10 minutes, so you don't really not too much looking.
That
You gotta watch out for those needles and right.
Have you seen that movie?
Luckily, I've left downtown, so the needles are a few miles back.
Have you seen that movie? What is it? L.A. Story. Steve Martin.
No.
Oh, they're like they're in traffic and then like rush hour hits and everybody like gets guns out of their glove compartment and shooting at all the other cars. It's great.
I didn't know you lived in LA, Hero. Man, your rent's got to be outrageous.
Yeah, it could be better, you know, especially when I was in Houston talking to some of the people about the rent out there. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's enticing to go somewhere else sometimes, but I have family. That's really what keeps me out here.
You're a Californian that they would accept in Texas.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, man, out in places like this, man, it would probably make you cry to know what we pay for rent down here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in New York, so it's like it's not that great out here either. I mean,
Dude, like
studio $1,750.
houses out here, $600.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Texas, that's where we want to move to in a couple of years. We want to move to Texas. Yeah, Texas is nice, man.
Yeah, I considered it when I was younger.
It's nice.
22,
it's cheap.
roughly.
The food is good.
I did like Texas. I just didn't like getting stuck in a thunderstorm. But I guess that's more of a Houston problem, I think.
Yeah, Houston, it's like that all the time. Even when there's a drought, it rains. It's just not enough. It's just it gets a weird pull in from the port where you just get rain in the middle of the day. I remember growing up there, man, all the time it would be bright sunshine and then suddenly it would just rain. It's like, oh great, it just went from 100 degrees and 70% humidity to 100 degrees and 95. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that kind of humidity and that humid rain.
Yeah, I would love to live in Texas again, but there's a reason that Houston is the diabetes capital of the world, and it's because the food in Houston is so good. So good.
It is. I didn't get to try too much stuff, but I did enjoy the food while I was there. I even had some Chinese food. It was surprisingly really good.
You had Chinese food? Where'd you go?
Listen, this was when I was stuck on I guess it was Monday when I was at a little motel. There wasn't too much. I had to get something delivered, but it was better than I expected. The portions were really good too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, Houston is this crazy place. If you're from a normal city, you don't know what Houston, like, it doesn't make sense to you. You go there, and there are more little independent businesses in that city than anywhere I've ever been. Like, there are chains.
Have you ever been to Austin, Nick?
Yeah, several times. My some relatives of mine used to live there.
Austin, man, every weekend they shut down. I think it's 6th Street.
Yeah.
On Saturday, and they turn it into like a Mardi Gras. It's insane.
Yeah, that's a weird city though. Austin's like pretend Texas.
Yeah.
But they do have good barbecue out there. But I prefer to go over to Lockhart for barbecue though. But Austin's fun. I just like to eat. So any of these cities is good.
Well, hey guys, I'm almost there, so I just want to say thanks to everyone again for donating and helping the GoFundMe out and being a part of the community. And it's also great that it's been going on for a number of months now, and we're still fighting back so strongly. So I really appreciate that. And thank you, Emish and Rekieta Flash Tug, for being there and doing the thing tonight. I'm glad I could be a part of that as briefly as it was. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Oh, hey, Hero, hey, before you go real quick, someone wants to know if you crossed paths with Jamie Markey.
I didn't, and I heard that she wasn't there, but I think that was a rumor. I think she's there. But no, I didn't. I did not cross paths with her. Almost went to the ANN panel, but
ANN got a panel. They're broke.
I think it was yesterday on day 0. I don't remember. It would have been funny. It would have been really funny. I'm salty I missed it. I'm sure they could have used my one attendance there, but oh well.
Yeah, you could have gone there and they could have copy struck you from the panel floor. Great.
We don't want them using it in a video. We need to copy strike them early for it or something. Oh man. Alrighty, gentlemen. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, man.
Peace.
Do you think ANN's broke, Nick? I think they're broke. Did you see? So they released a new hit piece on Vic, and it's funny that they're now coordinating. Please donate to us, right as they're hitting up on Vic again.
Yeah. Well, he's big clicks though. I mean, you look at their regular traffic, and then you look at Vic. No wonder they do so many damn articles about it. And yeah, I like how they put their little "please give us $1" banner across the top.
I did a video on it. I went to their traffic too. They're down everywhere, and most of their traffic comes from Facebook and Twitter, and they literally only get people. They have a 67% bounce rate. So from what I understand, that means they read the one article and then they bounce the fuck out of there and never go there again.
I wonder how much of that is from like targeted ads on Facebook too. So they're like, oh, okay, well, I clicked the promo ad from Anime News Network. Major voice actors sued by, that sort of thing. And then they go, oh, well, turns out that this story is stupid and I don't care because of who wrote it.
The thing that they suffer from is, old school journalism. You didn't have to be likable in any way, shape, or form. Now that you bring in Twitter and all of this other stuff, people that are likable, they'll bury you. And that's what these places are learning. You will get
look at Tim Pool. Tim Pool's killing it now. And it's because he's likable.
He's likable, and no matter what, like, you think of his bias or his, like, a bunch of people will call him a cuck or whatever, which is fine.
I think he's pretty centrist.
Yeah, well, that's centricuck or whatever, but it doesn't matter because people know where he comes from, and there's no illusion. Like, this is me. Here's my opinion on this thing, and here's the facts that I've been able to gather. And he's built up his brand and trust in who he is, and that will obliterate a faceless publication with some random journalistic, pre-graduate coming out from some boring university. That'll beat them every day, especially if the person has a drop of charisma. They're gonna dominate traditional news because they're what people actually want to see versus what a bunch of people in a boardroom think people might want to see. Maybe. That's just how it's gonna go. Anime News Network, and they can't even afford a boardroom, so that's not even going to work out for them. That's a bad plan on their part.
I like how they pretend to have, people who copy, who check copyright and check errors. And I'm like, they don't have anybody that's checking anything.
Fact checking costs money.
Donate 12 cents, please. It's like, no.
It costs money to do fact checking and on the ground journalism.
They need a Sarah McLachlan like playlist where it's like, every time you donate 12 cents, a fact is checked on Anime News Network. Please.
I don't know which one of us said it, but I wanted to correct. They never did a retraction for the article on Vic where they got busted with those pictures.
Of course not.
They've never retracted that.
They just quietly changed it. But the lie about that came out with, was it Japan Times? They put in their article that they did a retraction, and no, they didn't. They just pulled something out of it. They never said anything else about it.
Yeah, but all of those things, like all of those oopsie doopsies, have made it pretty easy for a lot of people who are just tuning into this farce to really make a decision quick. Yeah, and I think that kind of helped in the long run, like with all of us covering the stuff. Just them backpedaling nonstop. I think that really helped people just say, you know what, I'm just coming in. What am I seeing? What's happening? Who's lying? Okay, I'm not supporting them. Vic's innocent.
Well, it's a tribute to to the pushback. It's a tribute to the pushback because not only was the pushback effective because people were looking for it. They're like, please, God, stand up and fight this. Don't be the next guy. Don't be the next guy that I have to be depressed is gone, right? Stand up and fight this. So people are looking for that. And then the converse of that, though, is people like Anime News Network and these journalists who operate in this type of sphere in the court of Twitter have been running with impunity for so long that they just never occurred to them that someone could fight back, and they were caught completely unprepared for people to stand up and do it because they've just been, well, we'll just operate with impunity. Who's going to challenge us? We're the most trusted name anime news, right?
It even says that in that news filing. They they even throw that in there. They're like Anime News Network, known as the internet's most trusted source on. I was like, oh my.
Yeah, they did
God.
twice. Twice they put it in there.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, a trusted source in anime, not real life.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference.
Travis the Bard says, when is Bubba Fest? Bubba Fest is August 23rd through 25th, I believe.
I think it's the 22nd to the 25th.
Is
I'll
it?
pull it up.
Is it
I
that
think
early?
Let me check. Let me
Yeah,
check.
check. I'll read the next one here. Perception Check says the Orca requires the facilities at SeaWorld in order to bathe. Goober Gabber says these drive-by lawyers are only marketing their own stupidity. Also, Tug, I was thinking that we should start selling vials of sweat from famous people at FifiCon. Maybe
Yeah,
also
God.
put some hugging booths here and there.
You're right.
Have you seen
23rd. It's the 23rd through the 25th. August 23rd to the 25th.
I thought so because I checked it earlier today when I was talking to babysitters. So
they've been talking on the other side about having a con. They've been talking about having consent con.
Oh my God!
Skip that and go with Fifi con. I
They
think that would be
should
better.
definitely host consent. It would be the most boring convention ever.
Now, with more documentation for you to sign, you'd be like, all right.
Every time you get to go up to someone, you have to scan their QR code and click yes, I approve. I approve and affirmatively consent to this conversation. Oh, disgusting.
Oh my God, that would be so amazing, though. They really do need to put on a consent con. I would love that.
It'd be so funny. Like all cosplayers would have to wear like a bathrobe over their cosplay, and then you'd have to go. You'd have to go into the consent hall and like sign a waiver before you get to look at someone who might be in something akin to a bathing suit that you'll see at the hotel pool that night.
Yeah. And you'd have Shane out there humming like eyes wide shut. He'd hum their theme song.
Oh, God.
You know, and you finally get to see a little skin. Be like, damn, that sounds awesome. We really need to have that.
Eyes Wide Shut, man. That's the movie that killed Kubrick.
Yep, there you go. And this would be
I think they killed him over that movie, man. We'd get into that conspiracy theory another day.
He should have died from that faked moon landing.
We're 20 minutes in.
Oh, perfect. Good timing.
Well, 15 because that's where we picked up from, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's do this. We'll shill it again. Here we go. So here is where we were just 14 minutes ago. Let's we're now at 201,663. So there it is, guys. You guys keep going, and we will keep talking. That's not actually a thing. We're gonna end talking, at some point tonight. But while we keep talking, you guys keep going. You guys are crushing it. 201,663. Obligatory shill. Again, you're here to be asked for money. Thank you for participating and being asked for money. You've given me your affirmative consent by your participation in being here to be asked for money. Money that makes lawyers cry. Because lawyers like the illusion that law firms, that individual lawyers make money. They love that illusion. Well, my rate is $500 an hour. Well, but what do you get of that? How much do you get of that rate? Because you're not getting $500 an hour of your rate. You're getting some smaller percentage of it. And how many hours are you actually billing for versus how many you're working is a real question. Lawyers like to pretend that the prestige of their position gives them money. So that illusion is shattered very quickly when someone puts up 6 figures, now twice, right? So we're now at two independent amounts of 6-figure money. When someone puts that up and says a lawyer has access to this money, that's guaranteed, that they don't have to file collection for, they don't have to try an attorney's lien and pray, they don't have to do anything because it's just waiting. It's just waiting to be used in the proper capacity for the client. That's what it's there for. And then it allows that law firm to operate in an environment where they know that paycheck is coming, and they know that when they do this thing, they don't have to worry that will the money be there, because it's there. That's something that other lawyers are so jealous of, and you can read it in their words. So continue to make lawyers jealous. There are a couple ways to make lawyers jealous. Have an above average size penis. Lawyers will be jealous immediately. Be a decent human being. They will be jealous immediately. Buy your own CPAP machine. Heck, buy someone else's CPAP machine, or just buy one and sledgehammer it. There's some lawyers out there who'd be very jealous of that. Very, very jealous of your ability to independently purchase the item that can keep you alive. And just shatter eternally the illusion that all lawyers are rich. Most lawyers are just normal. They're just normal guys. Or girls. Guys or girls. Some lawyers are very rich, and those guys are great. Good job.
That would
You
be
do you.
awesome, actually. If we can get to 250K, man, I would totally not related to this in any way, shape, or form. Not an endorsement by the GoFundMe, but maybe I would go buy a used CPAP machine and bust it with a sledgehammer. That might be fun.
Oh, that would be so funny. Maybe we should do that stream.
Hey,
sometime.
Nick, so how you liking the Mortal Kombat arcade?
You know, I need to play it more. I haven't had a bunch of time, but what I really love, this is so funny.
Do you have it on the riser?
No, I don't, and I'll tell you why. My 4-year-old, my 1.5-year-old, and my 6-year-old will sit and play Mortal Kombat. And yeah, my 6-year-old comes up and she's like, "Dad, can I play the arcade?" Arcade, lady. It's an arcade. Can I play the arcade? Sure. And then she picks Raiden. It's her favorite character. And she sometimes wins a lot in a row, and she sometimes loses. But I love my little kids come up to that thing, and they're like the perfect height for it. So the riser's still sitting in the box, just outside.
What's
of my
awesome
office.
is they get to experience it, because it's a lost thing now.
Yeah, I really do. I want to get the Final Fight one. I want to get the X-Men one.
You got to get the Turtles one.
Is it
Turtles one
Turtles?
drops next month, man.
Is it Turtles
Oh my
and
God, I'm so-
X-Men in the same cabinet, or the
It's Ninja Turtles and Turtles in Time. So you're gonna get both of the Turtles ones. Now the X-Men one, I'm sure, is coming, but that will probably be packaged with like Simpsons, I think, is what they're gonna do.
Man, I wish they would have done a Turtles and X-Men 4-player box each. God, that would
Yeah,
be
but they
great.
could sell both of those and make money.
I know, but it's harder for me to find room for 2 of those in my house.
The Turtles one, that's the one I'm going for. That was the big thing, man. That was in my movie theater for years.
Yeah. I mean, the arcade experience is gone. I thought about why, right? Arcades are a faulty business proposition. I was thinking about this the other day, because the idea is that to maximize value for the consumer of an arcade machine, their quarter needs to last them as long as possible. To maximize profit is at the exact opposite side of that spectrum. So these two things are in conflict. The business owner wants to maximize or minimize the amount of time that is spent on a machine, but enjoyment comes from maximal amount of time on a machine, right? Like, I have achieved something, I have not died for this long, and I'm still playing. And the main problem with that conflict is that the resource that really matters, time, that the machine can be operated by one person, is finite. So what you see is games that are either too hard quarter munchers that just exist to suck down money, or you see games where people can accomplish things but they're not profitable. So there's a conflict, because that's the problem with the arcade. I think that's why it's dead.
I think the internet, I mean, this Xbox Live, Steam Online, like, I can play Mortal Kombat 10 or Dead or Alive 6 online.
Yeah, and you can maximize the amount of time you get out of it. Plus, there's an unlimited number of users because it's just a license agreement rather than a physical box. One Mortal Kombat 10 machine in an arcade would only service 2 people at maximum for 24 hours a day. You get 48 hours to play with it. But Mortal Kombat 10 with online competition through PlayStation, you get 24 hours per PlayStation, right?
But what's lost there, though, is just the ability to go interact with people live.
Yeah, and
Like
put your
arcade,
quarter on the
yeah.
machine and be like, "I'm next."
Yeah.
I
But all
actually
that
love
Bunch of
that.
random
It's just-
people, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
We're losing so much interaction with people in general. Like online shopping is killing a lot of these big box stores. Like just the human experience is kind of fading away. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah, I love retro game arcades and bars and stuff because you do go and you get that thing, and it's right in that golden era where you could through skill maximize the amount of time on a lot of games, and it's before, because if you go to an arcade now, you're swiping a card, there's no quarter involved. Every game costs like 83 cents. It's some
Yeah,
weird.
it's gone up.
Yeah,
There's a-
and it's an uneven amount, and your play time is literally 60 seconds or less.
You ever go to like do they have any Dave and Buster's by you?
I try to avoid them, but yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
There's one somewhere.
There's this one, it's by me, and they have like Mario Kart. They bring a lot of the arcades from Japan because arcades are still big over in Japan.
Yeah.
Those are still like big business over there. And they bring a lot of the arcades over from there, and they have like Mario Kart arcade and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I would. There are some places where you can do like unlimited play, but again, the problem with the business model is that you have a limited amount of time that you can get out of every machine. So then it becomes cost prohibitive, or it becomes you have to die too often and just soak money into it for them to make a profit. And that's the problem with arcades. That's why home consoles ended up winning, in my opinion. Once the technology leveled out and you could get arcade quality in your home, there's no longer a need to go dump money. Okay, D Townsend. I gotta get to some super chats here. It says, so a whiskey question for the bunch of you. What's your favorite whiskey and why? If you haven't tried it, give Ardbeg a try. Okay, what's your guys' favorite whiskey?
Jack Daniels.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Jack?
about all I drink. That's about all I
Yeah.
drink anymore.
Oh
No, I
man.
don't drink. Sorry. I'm gonna be-
Well, I
I'm
don't
from
drink too much
Tennessee, man. It's
whiskey
almost,
in general anymore.
oh, no, I don't
Like,
drink at all.
back when I was like, teens and stuff, me and one of my ex-girlfriends, we used to drink the hell out of whiskey, and it kind of soured it for me.
Sure.
I
I
just
mean,
think it's against the law here if I don't drink Jack Daniels. I think I will get arrested.
oh yeah, you're bound by, it's like part of the state constitution.
I'm more of a rum dude. I like rum.
Yeah, I'm okay with rum. What's your favorite rum?
Oh, I like Captain Morgan.
Okay, I got this Hawaiian rum. Look at it. This stuff is. If you guys ever get out to Maui, you can only buy this on the island right now. I think, or there might be a state or two where you can sometimes get this, but they don't have license to ship to all 50 states yet. But it's Kula Distillery or Kula Rum, toasted coconut. I know it's backwards. That's just how it goes. Toasted coconut. This stuff tastes like candy when you drink it. It's really good. It's really good. They have several different rums, but man, that stuff you could just pour glasses of it and down it because it's like drinking coconut candy. Oh god.
I'll have to check it out. Can you order it online?
In some states, I think Texas might actually have limited distribution there, but otherwise you gotta go to Maui to get it, or Hawaii at least. You have to go to the state of Hawaii. I don't know if they ship between islands. Speaking of which, are any of you thinking of going to HawaiiCon?
I wish I could, man. Hawaii's expensive.
That it is.
Yeah, I gotta be selective
I would
with
have liked to go on. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to consider it maybe another time. I actually,
Oh yeah, you're gonna have the little one.
yeah. So that's it just doesn't work in time frame wise.
Yeah, I think if any of you in the chat are thinking of going to HawaiiCon, Lady Rackets and I are about 95% locked down on that one. That was another one we discussed today with babysitters. So we just got to make sure that we can do that, and then we should be out there. I really want to go. I met the owners, of course, at Matsuri, and they are great. They're great.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to them. They were ultra nice. I mean, I went from Hawaii to, man, that sounds like these are awesome people. You know, it's cool that you can want to go for the setting, but man, just the awesome people made me want to go.
Yeah, I mean those two, Tim and Stephanie, who run that convention, fantastic, nicest people on earth, and they really, it's a different type of convention than a lot of others. They're still a nonprofit, and the Hawaiian culture heavily influences the convention. So there's weird like things about money involved in the Hawaiian culture. Like I guess they still kind of view it with a little suspicion. So they have to walk this weird balance of like just charging enough to keep the convention afloat and still show people a good experience, but also, making sure they recoup their investment. And from what I understand, pretty much every penny that they get from the convention goes back into it, and they love bringing that to the community there on Kona. It's on the Big Island, Kona, and as I've been to Kona, I've been to Maui. Those are the only two Hawaiian islands I've been to. Kona is a completely different experience, and it's great. It's a little more rough and wild and less touristy, and there's some very cool stuff to see there. So I would recommend it if you can make it.
There's a few people in the chat wondering why Tug isn't exclusively drinking moonshine.
Yeah, Tug.
Yeah, that's no. I've been there a couple of times, and no.
When Tug drinks moonshine, the moonshine comes out.
Yeah, it definitely. It led to some more interesting times in my life. I'm a little bit older and more responsible now. I don't think so.
Sure you are. Automata says.
Well, I pretend to. I pretend at least on YouTube that I am.
Automata says, how do you think they would take it if we all started a GoFundMe to pay for super lawyer status for you? Alternatively, if there's a depot raising money for props for the room, would be funny. Throne for you, kids' chairs for them. We'll see. That deposition is a weird plan for theirs. They have so many hurdles. I don't think they'll go through with it. I think it was a flex, and I don't think they have the stones to go through with it, and I don't think their clients have the money to waste time doing it, because I think they know it's not going to be a profitable endeavor for them.
A flex to maybe get you to quiet down.
Yeah. Or to get other people to quiet down. If you go on Nick's show, we're going to subpoena you and we'll put your address out there.
I think a lot of this stuff has to do with, if you look at a lot of the moves that these people have, a lot of they're all silencing moves, whether it's ANN going after Hero Hay, or whether it's people threatening Yellow Flash with a lawsuit. I mean, it's all of that. It's trying to coerce people into silence.
You think ANN will cover how the GoFundMe hitting 200K?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Alt-right, white Nazi supremacists, fascist haircutted people raised $200,000 for Victor Wall suit.
Fascist haircut and the murderer Jason Voorhees raised $200,000.
Yeah. The savior of the universe. And
okay, Ike13D says, Shane Holmberg has donated to the GoFundMe. Take a peek at his message. Don't know if it's real. I'm sure it's 100% genuine.
He actually has donated.
Has he?
Not to the GoFundMe. I remember he used to donate to you, right? So it's almost the same thing.
One stream he came on to drop a couple chats.
Stream.
Yeah, about Kamehameha. Say you can support Kamehameha here.
It's just
so he donates to you. He has a Kiwi Farm account. Oh my God, man! Alt-right confirmed.
What side is he on? Which shoe is he wearing?
Oh, don't do that to me. Ethan Amante says, what about Anime News Network? Well, we covered them, I think, after that chat was made. But yeah, they're trash pile. Sammy Sam says, watching you for a while. Thanks for standing up against those despicable people, making my night shifts more fun. Hi, Tug, Yellow Flash, and everyone else on the stream. That's Emish. You can say Emish. You're doing great work. Let's put this over 200,000, which we've done. Escher says, don't mind me. I'm just over here mining some salt. So, there you go. What else do we have? Intimidator0108 says, just heading home from shooting fireworks with a friend. I'll have to catch a starter stream later on today. Here's some more money for the GoFundMe to spite Kick Vic. Well, I assume you independently donated to the GoFundMe and didn't think that a super chat to me would go there, because it won't. Can't do that. Julio Santoyo says, just joined the stream. Happy 4th of July, Nick. Everyone in the chat, and guess whoever you are. There you go. HB says, he's Ron Soye, balls the size of boulders, brain the size of a pea, ran his mouth for fun, and thought he was done. Tweets he can't recall. Bankruptcy for him and Rial. So
I like.
Yeah, that's a nice little poem.
Yeah.
You guys write poetry?
I'm into it. I like to read it, but nothing crazy.
You like to read poetry? What kind of poetry?
Anything really.
But I
Nothing
mean, like, it's so diverse. Like, what do you?
Oh, anything but love. I think outside of love, yeah, I'm not into like the whole lovey-dovey crap. I like more abstract stuff. You know, something with visual scenery and things like that.
My poetry professor, you might like him, was a guy named Adrian Lewis. I think he's still alive. He's too angry and miserable to die, I think.
I like people like that. I like people like that.
His poetry was about like life on the reservation. He's a native. But fantastic, highly respected guy. Kind of like the dumpiest guy you've ever met, though. He was the best college professor. I loved him. Like, everything I say about him sounds mean, and it's everything I liked about him. He's just this big guy, wear like a t-shirt and sweatpants, and his like stomach would hang out. And he'd wear a DeKalb hat. DeKalb's a genetic modified corn brand that's very popular out in rural Minnesota. And he would just like come in, he'd wear these big aviators. He's just this giant guy. He'd sit down at the desk in the front of the class, and we do these. I would always take his writer's workshops, so they're like 3-hour-long classes once a week at night. You just sit down and you go, okay, what did you guys do? Right? And it always was so depressing, but he was a fantastic poet. And he'd take your poem. So you'd have to sit, we'd write a poem for the class, bring it in, you read it, and then he'd take it and he'd rip it apart. Just absolutely just ask you why you did everything. Why was this word here? Couldn't you pick a better word? This line was bad. It doesn't, the rhyme scheme, if you even used one, was awful. Like, have you ever heard of meter? If this is prose, it doesn't look like it. And then at the end, he'd go, but I liked it. It was good. So if you like poetry, Adrian Lewis, look him up. I think you might, if you like scenery too, it's very visual.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I like that. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and a good grim impression of life on the reservation.
Those are the best editors, though, that will just rip your shit up. Because I gotta tell you, at the end of the day, like, they just make your stuff better. I think that's the problem with a lot of people in a creative industry now, is they don't get anybody that will do that.
I suggested to someone that one of their works needed an edit, and man, that burned them up.
It's like, crazy because when
my work needs edit, like if I'm writing something or you bet I'm better edit it, right? The only thing I don't edit is a live show. You just have to edit. It makes your work better. It's a good practice.
I had good professors. They would rip my shit to pieces, but like at the end of the day, it just makes it better. Mm-hmm. Like, it teaches you, it makes you better, makes you think about it. You should be able to take that, I think, you know? And that's the problem with a lot of people. I don't think, I see this mostly from coming from the comics background. These people don't have anybody that tells them that they don't have anybody that tells them that they're doing something stupid.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, because they think, I think a lot of people now, I mean, I'm not too familiar with comics, but I'm familiar with the mindset. They think that time spent entitles them to some kind of recognition.
Yeah.
You know, not the quality of the work, but the time that they spent means that you should give them some kind of recognition for that. And it's like, I don't know you anything.
Right. Don't you realize how much time and effort I put into this? Yeah, but I could put 100 hours into a drawing and it would still look like trash. I can't draw. Like, it's not going to save it.
Well, these people, though, they think because, oh man, I work at X company or Y, you know, I've hit the big time somehow. Therefore, and it's like, damn, you guys have forgotten what it's like to answer to people, like truly to answer to people. My wife just ran in here and said, "Rum and Dr. Pepper. Tell Flash rum and Dr. Pepper." I was like, damn, what are you talking about? Apparently, rum and Dr. Pepper, Flash. That's what you need. Rum and Dr. Pepper in your life.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it was just randomly out of the blue.
Hey, if you get a pregnant lady to run in,
yes,
that's important.
Yes, if you're, run is a nice way of putting, when you have someone that is that far along and they waddle fast in here and tell you that, my life may depend on passing that message. So there you go.
The Sock Monster says Ken White, aka Popat, gave a really good breakdown / follow along in the whole Prenda law debate, porn copyright trolling that basically ruined Prenda. It was a really good breakdown. He's actually pretty cool sometimes. Yeah, like I said, just because he's a cuck on blocking people doesn't mean that he's not like I thought I praised him fairly heavily. He's smart, he's witty, he knows his stuff, and he's charismatic and a good writer. It's why it's a shame that he blocks people. I mean, that truth be told, when you block people, you take away their ability to consume you. And some people have a lot to offer. Storm Knight MD says, the rumor on Kiwi Farms is that all the BS from Joyless Division has burned through the fund already. Even if it hasn't, we need to keep it going, folks. Well, I don't know, because that information is going to be privileged between Ty and Vic. But what I can tell you is that just from an outside perspective, it's very expensive. Very expensive, and that's not hard to see. I mean, those costs for Monica and Rion, Monica, Rion, and Ron, those apply the same way back to
yeah, he made his
Vic.
name sound a lot more manlier than it was.
Yeah. But those costs apply to Vic too. Carrie and Ty were there. They had deposition prep as well. That stuff all, it's time and hour. It's hours. You know, hours is money, and so if you want to know why they can probably estimate their opponent's costs, it's because they know their own. So there you go. Woodbee says, all you get is the satisfaction of doing the right thing for a genuine stand-up guy. Racket Army assemble. Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
We were 20 minutes in, by the way.
Oh, well, let's check it. Shall we? Shall we check it? Shall we check the GoFundMe? We've got
Sean Connery.
Last check, it was $201,663. We're now at $202,078. Thank you guys so much. Like, we broke 200K. I love that you guys keep donating. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is awesome. I'm glad that everyone's coming out and making this happen.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with the whole GoFundMe thing. Period. This actually gave someone a chance to fight back. People raised 100,000, and then it got raised. You know, the level got raised. They raised another 100,000, and it keeps going. I mean, that is beyond impressive.
And I mean, should I do it now? Should I raise the level to 250,000? Because I'm gonna raise the level. This is a shameless shill program, so we've hit our two. No, I think I'm going to raise it tomorrow, though, or the next day. I want to revel in shattering that $200,000 goal before I raise it. This fund is going to remain open, unless it somehow gets killed, through the duration of the suit, right? There should always be a place for someone to throw in support for Vic. And I care less and less about hitting each subsequent goal. They are massive milestone messages. These are giant neon signs to Funimation. This is money that could go to your products. This is money that could go to your subscriptions. This is money that is being redirected from your pockets into the legal defense of a guy that you helped slag. You idiots. And like, you guys have to see the hypocrisy of Funimation's positions. Like, can I get some thoughts from the panel on that? Because
maybe go face cam, because I feel like a rant is coming.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me do this first. Let me say, please, as you are here to be shilled to, be shilled to, and consider, if you haven't donated, use that peer pressure.
Well, it's more than just Vic, because I see people in my comments on the videos I put out. Sometimes they'll say, I don't care about that, who he was or what he is. Not saying a slight on him, but it's more like they're saying, I stand with due process. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of people ruining people's lives over allegations. I think it has moved. I think it's become more than him in some ways, that some people are seeing this as a win against it. You see this with a lot of people recently. Johnny Depp. What was that other guy, Tug? You covered him. He was another pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. Was it Jeffrey Roche?
I can't remember.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rush down in Australia. He won his lawsuit, right?
I think people are tired of this.
Yeah.
People are sick of this. It's kind of, in some ways, I think, becoming a stand against bullshit.
Yeah.
No, I agree. You look at the name of the GoFundMe. Vic kicks back. What is he kicking back against? You know what I mean? And that's what people are supporting. and that's what matters. It's more than just fake. I think we've established this quite some time ago. So this idea that we could just hop on a stream together, break 200K together with everybody's help it's a pretty good feeling. I didn't expect it, and it's not to doubt the fandom in any way. It's just I just never really expected that. One, that we hit the goal tonight, and two, that people just genuinely want to support a message of some kind and are willing to put their money where their mouth is, and that speaks volumes. So thank you guys, and if anything, I might want to encourage you guys to just let us know when you guys super chat or when you guys tweet at us. If anything, tell us why you decide to donate to the GoFundMe. Why exactly are you spending your hard-earned money on this particular message? So that way people get to see that, why is it you're spending money on this stuff, and people take you seriously because your stuff matters. Tug's been covering this stuff for a while. He's been a positive voice for this idea of consumers and why people are willing to spend their money and put their money where their mouth is. So definitely let us know.
Yeah, I think too. There's the message, like Nick said. It is sending a message to companies, because right now you already see the people that are aiming at Vic. They've been tied up for a little while, but they're already restless. They're saying, hey, even though we think Funimation is winning, why haven't we turned on them yet? They let this happen for 15 years. So look at the cons. All of these cons. Anyone that they say that there's some type of culpability there for them. They've just opened the door for this mob to come at them harder. They think they're bad now when they're trying to kick the door in. Well, wait until they get it inside, and then they're going to burn everything down. So, yeah, you can either take a fandom that can raise $200,000 just like this in a few months, just to say, hey, this guy, we want him to have due process, or you could be siphoning off, God knows how much of that into your coffers, instead of having to pay exorbitant amount of money for lawyers and really having so much bad PR. I mean, this could have gone so much differently. But hey, lesson learned. I hope the next company down the line, they see this, or the cons that see this, they see the lines that people like a Vic pull in. I hope that's a learning lesson.
Oh yeah, and let's that whole oh, you were just talking about it. Now my brain is breaking. This is all money that could have been spent in the industry. It is.
There's super chats that have come to you. I've seen where people say, "Hey, I'm giving you my monthly." The Funimation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should be taking note. Emish, the reason why you didn't expect it to break 200,000 is because it was not reasonable to expect over $10,000 being raised in 2.5 hours.
I knew it would. I mean, we have everybody in here just about Hero. Hey, it's the only one. He popped in, but I mean, we're all here supporting the cause. I knew people would come through.
Yeah, I mean,
we're doing this again too. It feels good to be back on a panel with everybody, and that's how we started.
Yeah,
and that's what really got people really flooding in. And I think probably consider doing a little more something like this more often in the future. We're going to need it now more than ever, if anything.
I legitimately thought we would raise a good amount. I didn't know that we would make it to 200,000. People's generosity routinely blows me away. It blows me away. And it's a tribute to how much the community means to the fans, and what these people. This is what our panel was about at Matsuri, right? This is all for the people out there in the audience donating, the people who aren't in the audience who are donating, who are like, we just want, like, will you please just make the thing that I want you to make? Just please, God, make the flipping pictures with English words instead of Japanese words for me. That's all I want. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about this like your personal vendetta against the fact that someone hugged someone. I don't care. Like, if they're not being arrested for rape, why are we talking about this? The fans are going up and seeing this person. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people are coming up and seeing this person. What am I worried about with that? Please, dear God, just make the pictures talk English for me so I can enjoy them. That's all I want. That's it. And that's not good enough, though. It's not good enough for the Bond villains out there, like that giant-jawed, hideous monster. You saw her missive to TechoCon, right? You will comply with my demand to officially announce that Vic will never return, or you should resign and we will boycott you. Like, look at you. Who are you? Who are you? You're a has-been con staff. You didn't run a con. You didn't start a con. You don't like know everyone in the industry. You're some random person that worked at conventions. You didn't take the risk. You didn't build the networks. You hitched onto someone, and there's nothing wrong with being con staff at all. It's great. Go enjoy your hobby, participate in it, get paid for it, do it. But don't expect, like, you got hired by someone. That doesn't mean you somehow dictate the industry. You didn't do the work to build up the resources and reputations. You don't have the investment required. You're just Johnny Bravo with a vagina who comes out and decides suddenly that you get to tell the CEO of a convention, some guy who's putting in the work, who's taking the risk, who's putting his name out there, that he has to resign if he doesn't capitulate to you, a retired con staffer, a retired literal who that you are, and then to lie about it. Of course, you're just such a liar, and it's so obvious because the story doesn't add up. And you can't get people to back the story because no one would. You can't even get the con it allegedly happened to back the story. And this dummy has been talking for years about how Vic has been banned from TechoCon. And you could see it. Oh, Vic is banned from TechoCon. Why did they invite him back? Like, this is like as it happening live in 2012. Oh, thank God, Vic's banned from TechoCon. 2014. Why did they invite Vic back? Well, maybe because it's been 3 years and that's their policy. You idiot. You giant. I don't know how to make fun of Jaws anymore than I have. How do I do it again? How do I do it again? But this is the caliber of accuser in this, and this is what we're fighting for. It's this one random person with so much entitlement that they think that someone has to capitulate to their non-important opinion, that they're admittedly not in the industry, presumably not attending cons, and almost definitely not buying a single anime product in their life now that they're out of it because they were just so traumatized. Why would anybody listen to you? You're nobody.
The horrible things that they say, the indictments that would be on conventions, on the people that work there, on parents. I mean, when I listen to this stuff, I think, as a parent, I mean, you're a parent. I mean, when I hear this stuff, I think,
are we all parents here? I think we are, right?
Yeah, I've got two.
Yes, got one.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a parent, if my kid, I even got a whiff of an accusation like that, they'd be lucky. And again, this is no bragging or anything, but somebody would be very lucky to get to the point where I called the police, because I would go and find them and I would smash their face in with something. That would be my number one. I would be very, very volatile. So to tell me that these people throw out these accusations, say all of this is known, with all of these people out there, you're going to tell me that not only do conventions put their convention and the people behind it on the line, because very much covering up some of these accusations would send you to jail, but no parent would stand up and at least call the police or do something much more drastic.
I mean, there are people alleging that, like, there are people alleging assault against minors. In Texas, that's a shotgun.
Yep.
And that's
definitely a shotgun.
And in some states it's worse. Texas is just efficient at dealing out death. In Alabama, that might get you dragged behind a truck, right? Until you're dead. The idea that this has just been running on as an open secret is of course ludicrous. The reason it's the reason that no one has acted on the open secret is, one, because no one believed it, and two, because the open secret is an illusion generated by all the buzz starting on January 16th, giving some highlight to obscure stories that are unverified, mainly because Vic is a Christian who didn't sign gay fan art, period. And to know that that's where this actually came from.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's embarrassing. It really is. It really is.
But with that, I say I probably want to put it. I'm gonna have to get on out of here. It was a beautiful rant. Didn't want to disrupt it, but
oh, thanks, buddy.
I don't know if you want to do one more quick check of the GFM before I head out, or it's up to you, really. But
yeah. Well, let tell people where they can find you.
Oh,
and then...
Twitter for now. Twitter for now. So here's what's gonna happen. Twitter at MSH's Live. As per being a part of the stream, I can comfortably say that I would love to get back into the space of doing commentary content based on stuff like this, the stuff surrounding it. I didn't really, and it's like I said before, I didn't expect for this stuff to hit 200K tonight. I figured we would hit it soon, but to be a part of it with you guys and to just really, retrace our steps in regards to joining the panel with you guys and doing what we used to do, because this is what brought this community together, right? Everybody's positive voice and trying, and this idea of being in the pursuit of the truth. I think I've been, I don't want to say motivated or inspired, but I feel like I do belong here. And with that, I will be revisiting the YouTube space again. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing it on the same channel. I'll probably start a different channel just to specifically cover that, because I do come from the Dragon Ball fandom mainly. But for now, Twitter at MSH's Live. Pleasure being a part of this. Let's keep going.
Yeah, buddy.
And you should stick with it, man. You're very loved by the people. And
oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
And if you do start a new channel or whatever, come on my show, talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me know as well, and I will pimp it the best I can.
Yeah, this weekend. I'll work on it this weekend. I'll let you guys know, and hopefully we can do something.
Because I was gonna do something. I wanted to try and do something like this tonight, but now I might push it till Saturday since we've done it now. So, but if you want to come on and stream this weekend, Mo, sure.
Yeah, I'm down, man. Just let me know,
man.
Yeah, just give me a few hours heads up. I work, but always down to make time for this, man. I mean, it's time well spent, And just like you guys donate to the GFM, spending your time to listen to us talk and hear what we have to say, whether you agree or disagree, I mean, it's time well spent, it's money well spent, and yeah, let's just keep going. Appreciate it.
Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it very much. Keeping us on time. And when you buzz out, oh wait, go ahead.
By the way, you got let's see, you got about 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Let's just do it live real quick before you take off, and then we'll start to wind down the stream after that. Let's see. So we're at 202.148 is what I'm seeing, but I saw 203. So hold on, let me see. I think I refreshed the wrong window. No, 202.148 is what I'm showing. Someone said it's 203, but I haven't actually seen that.
Could be a slight delay, potentially, maybe.
Could be. Let me take a quick. I'm going to retweet it again. A lot of people are saying over 203, so I know some people are getting delayed by but I'm showing 202.148, which is still amazing. Still absolutely amazing.
I'm showing 203, 203.
I'm seeing 202.48. So
hold on, let me share.
Update soon.
Hold on. Let me share my thing. Hold on.
I'm gonna reopen the window. We'll do that. That might help. I'm still showing 202.148. Can you pull it up on yours, Flash?
Yeah, hold on.
Man, even your refresh button is boomering out on you. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just still showing 202.148. But I was seeing in the chat people were having the same issue earlier where they're other people were announcing it was moving on. They were like, wait, no, I'm not seeing that. So maybe it's just some cookies or cache issue that's going on.
I got to sign in. Hold on. I'm going to not screen share for that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh, why not, man? Come on.
Yellow Flash is going to get deposed next.
Can you share your credit card information, Flash?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to get that Ninja Turtles machine.
I am on Amazon right now. Hey, could you share something? I need to put this in.
Oh, my goodness. The suspense is killing me.
What did we start at? Do you remember?
$194,000, 450, I believe. 194,450, something like that.
No, it was 191. It was 191. Yeah,
we started this stream.
We were when we started the stream. It was 192. When I made the initial thumbnail, I can check. When I made the link, when I made the link earlier. I had the GoFundMe up. It was 191,630.
That's insane. Man.
Here it comes.
Like 10 grand tonight, right? Something like that.
Yeah, rolling in 12, man. We're getting close.
Shit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's crazy, man. I mean, you know, so yeah, I guess I'll say one more thing. I'll head out. Like, so you look at the number, $202,000, 148, right? 202, 148, right? That's the number you see. And you look
I got the update. Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up while you talk.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, I'll just speak on while I'm looking at your screen if anything.
What you were saying something? I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah. So over $203,000, let's say, right? And you look at the amount of people backing it, 6,089 people in support of just saying the same exact thing. And I mean, when you look at it collectively in regards to how many people are willing to support that message, it may not sound like a lot, but you know, that's 6,000 potential followers that, you know, Doucette could have had, Akiva Cohen, Shane Holmberg, all these people, you know. So that's 6,000 voices saying, "Fuck off."
That's 6,000 subscriptions for Funimation.
Okay, you got it.
Exactly.
I had to reset my password.
Exactly. Collectively, that's what that's what matters. So that's insane. Yeah, like I said, pleasure, honor, especially. And I will definitely be talking to you guys more. So looking forward to that.
Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping out tonight. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Chaos Bane soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to do that because I like that game. It's fun.
It's fun. It is fun.
Is it a Warhammer game?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Warhammer meets Diablo.
Yeah.
What is the newest one? Is that it? Chaos
That's
Bane?
it.
Yeah, it's Chaos. Yeah.
Say it's like Diablo?
Yeah.
It's old world Warhammer meets Diablo. And
Maybe I'll check it out. Is it on
It's on Steam. Yeah, it's on Steam.
You know who voices Ellen Tier, Emish?
Who?
Figured that out?
No. I haven't
listen.
checked.
You got to listen real close.
I gotta start the Wood Elf Scout then, because
No. The Ellen Tier's the high elf mage.
the mage. Okay, I gotta check it out then, because I'm a Slayer, so I'm the Troll Slayer.
Can I use a controller?
It's
Or maybe I
Todd.
use keyboard and mouse.
It's Todd.
It's Abercorn?
It's Abercorn.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I should start a mage.
Do they let you use a controller, or do you got to use a mouse?
Yeah, you do. You can use both. You can use
Okay. Because Diablo doesn't let you fucking use one, man. It's stupid.
Well, Diablo is better off with the mouse anyway.
I hate keyboard and mouse, man. I don't.
I mean,
It's not like an MMORPG. It's a pretty simplistic, like hack and slash dungeon style kind of layout. So keyboard and mouse is perfectly fine.
yeah. But you can use the controller on Chaos Bane, so quit your
Yes.
bitching.
Hey, I'm gonna download it then.
I got the
It's-
Magnus edition. What'd you get?
Yeah,
Nick?
the second I heard it was out, I bought the Magnus. The second I heard it was announced, I pre-ordered the Magnus edition.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about pre-order, but I bought it like the minute it was available. Caught that, and then we started playing right away. So been playing ever since. Pretty fun. I like it.
Yeah, I played a soldier in the first beta. I played the.
He's tough to play early on, but his end game is fire, man. Like
Which one should I buy? Should I buy the deluxe or?
If you want access to like the season pass and certain things like that, like, you know, updates and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they launch it worldwide, but at least the bare minimum is deluxe edition. I'm
Yeah.
concerned that they do. I mean, here's the thing: the game is pricey for what they're asking for what you get, but they do promise content updates, so that's good. So I would say at least the deluxe edition for sure.
And it's fun. I mean, I think I read it's about an 8-hour ARPG per character, to just play through to beat the game. But you know, these games are about end game, and if any of the other ones are indicative of any other action RPG is indicative of how this one will go, that end game is going to be seeing all of the content for the next 2 to 5 years. Right? They're going to do major updates and it'll all be end game related.
Yeah, if you're motivated based on anything in regards to Diablo, they have a long way to go. So
All right, I just bought it.
Oh, awesome! So we definitely gotta play.
Yeah, we
show
gotta
you the
do.
ropes.
Yeah, we gotta do a stream on Diablo sometime, or not Diablo, or Chaos Bane sometime.
I come from Diablo, so when I saw Chaos Bane, I was like, I have to have it.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, Nick hypes the fuck out of Warhammer, so
I love it. I want
give it
people
a
to buy
shot.
Warhammer stuff, so they keep making it. Even if it's trash, I want them to buy it so they hopefully get something good, like Law and Numbers. You know.
sure. All right, man. All right, so I'll officially for the third time heading out now. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Peace, Amish. See you later.
See you,
buddy.
man. Somebody said Diablo 3 Xbox port better. I have the Diablo 3 Switch actually, and I gotta tell you, it is very adequate.
Yeah, I want to get it for the Switch. The problem is I never actually use my Switch. My kids use it. Well, mine. I have two. They're both for my kids, and they're always on them, so I don't ever like play it. But I have Skyrim on the Switch, and that's just fun because you can just pick it up and turn it off and turn it on. Yeah.
I've been playing Super Mario Maker 2, and I'm working on a troll level right now, which is coming out. It's coming out fantastic. I gotta keep working on it, finish it up, but it's just endless Mario. And some of these levels, man, are just amazing that people make.
My kids love that game, man. They play it constantly. Okay, I need to get through. I've got a bunch of chats to get through still. And then we should probably start wrapping up the stream because it's.
I'm not balanced. I got to get up in 3 hours, but I appreciate you. I'm glad you had this because, man, I don't know. It's amazing to see so many people come together or do so much, and to say that this thing is far from over. You know, like all these people out there keep saying. I've seen a few of them say, "Oh man, the support for Vic is dying down." Well, I hope they watch tonight.
Yeah. I mean. Unparalleled support. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Tug, for hanging out and helping it happen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having a panel again. You know, it does remind us while these people are drag, man. They drag you down. So I appreciate you having stuff like this, man.
Yep, it's my pleasure.
See you
later, buddy.
I guess I'll drop out too then if you're just gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the super chats and then wrap up. Thanks for coming on. Of course. Massive appreciation. This has been a huge stream for Vic's GoFundMe, and couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to see it happen. I'm glad the community came out, and hopefully we can raise it up again if you're gonna raise it higher. So
yeah, I'm gonna revel in it being complete for a day and figure out the next target, 250 or 300, and then put it down there because. I was thinking maybe not doing it, but then I realized how much it would piss them off to raise it. Right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting because I'm sure they'll be bitching.
And they'll be bitching then, and then when I raise it, they'll be bitching even more. Like the very act of its existence offends them, and the fact that we will unabashedly ask for more money offends them even more. And the fact that people will give it because they believe in Vic so much, and they are so tired of the scumbag actions of the other party, that they'll support it. And so,
before I take off, did you see? So the tortious interference motion for Richard that moved forward.
Yeah, TI moved forward, and currently, the defamation did not, but they filed objections, and then they've got. So I was reading, they have an agreed upon motion to file their responses to each party's respective objections by July 12th because of the July 4th holiday. So we're going to see new filings from each party on July 12th responding because so they said tortious interference goes on, defamation does not. And then Meyer said, we object to that, and here's our amended pleading. Just because you missed it in our pleading that we were talking about words spoken in Texas, even though we said it, you didn't see it, and that's fine. We'll amend our pleading to clarify it. So they have a motion for that. And then, of course, Wade has a motion saying, no jurisdiction at all. It should all be dismissed. So now each party has to respond to those objections, and that is due July 12th. They filed an agreed upon motion. It was supposed to be July 8th, but with the 4th of July weekend, lawyers aren't going to pretend like they're going to work on the 4th. So.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna bounce out. Thanks for having me on, and enjoy your shekels and your shekel shout outs.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
And hopefully we'll play some Chaos Bane soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you soon, pal.
All right, brother.
Yep. See you later.
See you.
All right, guys. That is that is that. Let's do these super chats and we'll close out the show. I would love to play some Risk of Rain 2 tonight. I've been playing Chaos Bane. I want to play some Risk of Rain 2. It's got the new character and a new patch, so I want to do that. But we'll do some super chats. We'll hit the GoFundMe one more time before we go. If you're gonna bounce out, thank you for hanging out. You've made this an amazing night, beyond my expectations by a clear mile. I can't say enough. But let's do this. Let's do this super chat and GoFundMe thing one more time, and then I'll grab some food and do some Twitch, and then we'll hang out. We'll hang out. Thank you so much. Let's go. We've got Esme Illis. Oh dang it, Tug. This is for Tug. Whistle Jeepers Creepers for me. Thanks. You're missed. Yellow Flash 2. I hope you get it. Get this. There's always money in the banana stand. There's too many letters. I can't use them all. Thank you so much. Solo Beverly says, hi, Nick. My comment on the GoFundMe, it's a love letter to T. Greg. North Carolina says they're sorry that someone so bald, so stupid, and Tim Allen would possibly tweet 300 times a day. Also, Greggy Poo, you did that $10. Fluffy Tet says, tis the season for a movie reference, so in the words of my generation, Moron and company, up yours. Escher Shill says, this has been a fantastic stream. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Blaine20 says, thanks to somebody's huge addition to Pixlexia's art tablet fund, she is nearly to her goal. PayPal donations or commissions for art at pixlexia1@gmail.com and email commission details to the same. Yeah, I heard she got a large donation. She's well on her way to the tablet. So thank you to the people who did that. It's great. Great to see people supporting independent artists. Travis the Bard says, behold the power of fans and the people. Absolutely. I like the Spike Man says, I read a few or every A&N comments, and I'm fully demanding a refund from Nick, Ty, Hero Tug, and Shig. I mean, Mother's Basement. Vic is bad because impeach Drumpf. Thanks. Michelle Marie says, I donate because if they don't stop at Vic, then who's next? I'm thankful and grateful for each and every one of you for personal reasons. So thank you. You're welcome. From me and from the other guys, I'll say on their behalf, I can confidently say, you're welcome and thank you. Thank you. Devil Hunter Nero. Devil Hunter Nero says, I'm starting donating to indie comics like Tugs and Dugs because of this community, and Vic's situation made me donate to his fund for due process, not Twitter court. Plus, it's 4th of July, so there's that as well. Hey, thank you. Austin Heartless says, holy crap, $1,000 donation on the GoFundMe. Don't forget the $2,000 donation. That was amazing. Sinrius Akari. I can't do that. I can't pronounce that name. I work in mental health. I won't stand for clients who get help, have their past thrown back in their face because someone wants to finally report. These guys work hard to resolve their trauma. Yep. Jonathan Doe says, it's about the day independence from all the BS that's been brewing over the last few years. We've had enough of the mob. It's time to reaffirm our commitment to justice and truth. Grunu says, it's not just the GoFundMe, it's the labor this community has done. All the evidence that's been forwarded to BHBH saves them hours of work. Guys, you have no idea. No idea. That's worth multiple donations. Keep supporting cons. Thank you, you glorious people. Thank you so much. Now we've got, where are we? Kyle Biddle says, have a drink on me, you absolute mad lad. Don't mind if I do. Gonna have some of this Kalevala gin. This is Navy strength gin. So this is in celebration of the GoFundMe. If you don't like your gin Navy strength, then you don't like gin enough. And I'm not talking gin and tonic, gin and lemonade, gin and Coke. No, this is just gin. Oh, this makes them mad too, by the way. Usually they say gin is for people who hate themselves. I'm vicariously drinking gin for a bunch of other people who hate themselves. All right, we've got Michael says Casey is never getting paid. Brutal. Casey is never getting paid. We've got Facetious Sage says, put another Benjamin into the war chest. Thank you, Facetious Sage. Opposing counsel whining about unlimited resources as if only the very wealthy should be allowed to defend their names. Are they being paid in jelly beans? I think so. I think that must be the case, right? All right, now we've got Megan Gubani. Happy 4th of July to you and your family. Hey, thank you. I got to spend the whole day hanging out with my family outside, doing fun events, like a Ninja Warrior thing. We had a parade. We had fireworks. We had fireworks last night. We had a mile and a half run this morning. It was fun. Ike 13D, thanks for the donation. Neil Purcell, late in reading comics by Zoe Quinn. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Megan Gubani says, is it possible to get a sunburn in Minnesota? It is. I'm not sunburned. This is actually, I look more red because of the red shirt. I'm not sunburned. But yeah, it's very possible. Trust me. The summers here are not cold. Bookham Dano, thank you. The opinionated one. Happy Freedom Day, Nick and Co. Brett Wyatt says, hello, Mr. Eric. Welcome to the party. Please feel free to donate to Vic Lasagna's GoFundMe. It's for a great cause. Miss Howler says, let's get this to 200,000 before the top of the hour. Steph Dev says, his sleep apnea machine has a Twitter. Toomey Lee says, I just recently learned about this stuff that has been going down. Just donated and thank you for standing up for Vic and a fair trial. My pleasure. Claymore One says, I donated because I believe in due process. Tomoki Sakurai says, they should make illegal fireworks legal here in California. This is America. This is America. I agree. Nacho Dragon 659 says, random question. If I write a book, how do I protect my ownership of the property, whether I self-publish or if a publisher picks my work up? If you self-publish, I mean, you have ownership of it. You just have to check your distribution. Hire a lawyer to look over any agreements that you enter into. Distribution, publishing, whatever it is. However you're getting that stuff to fans, even your bill of sale to fans, make sure you have a lawyer help you out. It will be the best investment that you make. Really will. Andrew War Snowboard says, the U62 telethon is on the air. Vic kicks back. Thank you. That a UHF reference, buddy. Harbinger 345 says, best business structure, be hot, be naked, and profit. Man, if were that we all were hot and naked. The Scott 16 says, what would Toye be in a furry suit? A Cocker Spaniel? Lola Meat says, women will marry men in prison. So yeah, there's a market for them too, but Yellow Flash needs to let the women sell their lingerie and their laundry water. The Pie Baker says, yo, Nick, busy day. Catch you on the home VHS release. Hope you cover the Fig Opera divorce. If you didn't get the email, give a shout. Peace. I've got the email. I just got to find the time. The right time to do it. Bad Dragonite says, I want to laugh at people buying dirty water, but the American Revolution was started over tea, which is basically the same thing. Hashtag Happy 4th of July. Tim Kennedy says, wife said when we sex got to say hallelujah, not F. Okay. Thanks. The Morning Kumite says, I think these super chats should go to the GoFundMe. you would, the Morning Kumite. They can't. I can't donate to the GoFundMe. They have a policy against self-seating. Eric Rader says, Nick, Tug, Emish, are you aware Mars Girl has begun saying she did not want Funimation to fire Vic? Is this a sign she is fearing Vic lawsuit round 2? Probably. I didn't want him to fire Vic. I just said maybe we should have a conversation about it and hashtag kick Vic. Sure. Michael LaValle says, since Funimation's TCPA doesn't apply to Moron, why does it stay discovery between Vic and Moron? Because the law is poorly drafted, and it says it stays discovery in the action, not with respect to the motion parties, but in the action it stays discovery. No one important says, everyone hit the like button right now, please. So thank you. Broly Power Maximum says, sorry for giving you jelly beans, thereby ruining Vic's life. Also, everyone open up a second window and sub to Broly Power Maximum on YouTube for memes. There you go. Zero Absolute 00, thank you for the donation. Same with you, Cassidy Dietrich. Thank you. JM says, Kick Vic wants to make out Nick, and maybe Tug and Yellow Flash conducted a retaliatory harassment campaign on behalf of Vic and or Ty, planned from the beginning. Sorry. It's just not going to happen. Viden the cold one for Vic. Thank you. That guy from that thing says, there's a reason nobody watches recordings of telethons. Boring. Catch you tomorrow when we have something entertaining to talk about. I think you missed a good show. But that's your opinion. You're fine. Ethan Amante, thank you. Gawker's Death Rattle says, as someone who survived a false accusation, I know how much it sucks to have an evil person try and destroy your life. Excelsior, Vic and Ty, and thanks, Nick. Hey, you're welcome. Harbinger 345 says, Arms Girl can reach Mars. Toye is actually Soye. Renfamous weighs enough to crush a small nation. Marky was the rug, and the rest are idiots. This message brought to you by Nick holding me at gunpoint. All my guns are in the lake. Zachary Zwickle says, when Mars Girl goes to court, it'll be interesting to see her explain the tweets of her talking about Vic's mother, including a link to her live journal. Viden, the cold one, says, at Grand Kai 9. Thanks. Thank you. Bob Oxite, thanks for the donation. Stephen Frost says, Nick is paid in lawyer tears. Jeff Smith, thanks for the donations. Lane 32 James says, slowly catching up that spirit bomb charging up that spirit bomb like Goku did against Frieza. Thank you. Sam Everyman says, they already have Monica bathwater. It's the juice that comes out of the tuna can. Oh my God. That was disgusting. Zurindu says, Monica Rial's bathwater is the equivalent to the methane lakes on Saturn's moon Titan. Everything animated says, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Yellow Flash. Thank you, Tug. Thank you, Emish. And thank you, Hero. Hey, wasn't for you guys, Vic would have been jobless. Hey, thanks. It's our pleasure. Fatal System Error says, Mars Girl's long arms can't even reach the height of those numbers. 200,000. 200,000. We've got Ryuk 52109 says, the GoFundMe passed the goal on Independence Day. Yes, it did. Wingers012 says, as a fellow Canadian, I don't condone Anime News Network's actions. Neither do they. Zachary Zwickle says, oh my, Hero, hey, Yellow Flash, and that umbrella guy in your stream. We can't handle so much Big Vic energy. No, we cannot. Solo Beverly says, oh wait, no, I read that one. Shark Week says, see if you can grab Time Crisis. Gosh, that'd be fun. Brett Wyatt says, what we have in Dallas is called Cidercade. Pay $15, play unlimited games on arcade machines, and you can buy cider and food. It's the way to go. It is. That's great. Don Paul Mera says, arcades with actual games are dead in Japan too, ignoring Akihabara places with more than 1 or 2 actual games aren't common. Most places are prize machines or games where you buy collector's cards. Ah, it sucks. Ranstein Hernandez says, Nick, I'm sure there are crazier cases, but is the current one with Vic the most interesting? Yeah, absolutely. The actions of the opposing party and their counsel have been consistently surprising only in how ridiculous they are. Also, how many subs did you gain since you started covering the case? Oh, a ton. 30,000, 40,000. I don't, it's hard to measure. I don't know the exact date. But you can trace it back. I did a show with Doug TeNapel, and then the panel where we talked about Vic. Those are the first 2 days. I'm sure you could social blade it and find out. But it's a lot. No one important says, I write stuff, but I won't get angry. I'll just cry in the corner and fall into depression for a month or two. That's how writers are supposed to do it. You've got it. Winger Z012 says, Duchette saying your law firm expired a year ago. No, the assumed name, the certificate of assumed name expired last year. And yeah, I completely forgot about it. It's updated now. It's great. William Vanilla says, I love Jeffrey Rush. Hashtag long live Captain Barbosa. Fluffy Side Up says, cancel my Funimation Now account earlier this month. Take Funny's money, Nick. And thank all you guys for shilling the GoFundMe. Also put 10 in the GoFundMe. Thank you for doing that. Ranstein Hernandez says, we may have reached the 200K. Not sure about everyone else, but I'll keep donating. I'm willing to help as much as I can until all this is over. Sasamune says, I'm very happy I donated to such a good cause. Maybe Thatch the alcohol. Maybe that's the alcohol. Oh well, when I'm sober, I will not regret this. I'll take a drink for Vic and everyone. Thank you. Thank you. All Out of Bubblegum says, as someone who has personally dealt with false allegations from coworkers that were of different political views and using it to get me fired, I completely understand Vic's problem. You're not alone. You're not alone. Felipe M. I live in South America. Didn't know Vic. Didn't even consume the English version of DBZ, but read about the case, saw the evidence, and I knew where the truth was. I've donated twice to the GoFundMe. Thank you, Felipe. I really appreciate it. That's great, buddy. Rolana1 says, just wondered, any update on reading the Oberlin College documents to Ty Beard? Yes, except he's very busy right now dealing with the other stuff. We still have plans to do that. Still do. Solo Beverly says, two more bucks to say F you, Greg. F you, Greg. Lunar says, my reason, and buddy, you did, man, you supported the heck out of the GoFundMe. My reason for supporting the GoFundMe, aside from sheer concentrated spite, because I am sick and tired of seeing and hearing about people having their lives ruined over BS without due process. Yes! Yes. Yes, and imagine all of the lawyers saying that no due process is owed to people. Defamation by Twitter, and some sort of weird idea that no one should be allowed to defend themselves and their reputation against Twitter. Jacob Gowland says, happy 4th of July from New Zealand. Hey, thanks, pal. Back to you. Mr. Non-Offensive says, have you seen Mr. Non-Offensive's music video about Vic, you and the beard? It's called Fear the Beard. It's great. You should check it out. No shilling. I will check it out. Thank you. Marius Van says, Nick, do you drink tequila? Not often. Not often. Al Valentin, even in Ireland, the Kick Vic lie, spread hate, and do nothing but fail. It seems Mr. Lemoyne is also a lying plonker. Nick, have some poitin if in Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland. I'd love to. Shining Nebula says, happy Freedom Day, everybody. Here's to freedom to exist. Kick Vic, take that. Take that. All right, let's hit the GoFundMe one more time before the stream ends, and then I'll do the justice chats, and then we'll wrap it up. Here's the GoFundMe. 203-213. We are now at 203-413. Thank you all. Your support has been outstanding. Outstanding. Over 12,000. Wait, was it over 12,000? Let's look at it again. No, just under 12,000. It was 191,630. So we're at $11,800 roughly raised tonight. That's a magnificent night. It's huge. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna let them stew on that. But I will ask you one more time, again, for the night. This is the shill stream. Please consider donating. I will be raising the amount. So when they are like, "Ha! We told you Nick was gonna raise the amount." Of course, people are still supporting, and the lawsuit's still going. I will raise the amount every time we hit the goal. Because I have no shame in not meeting the goal the 4th time. Right? We've met 2 huge goals. And anything that we have above the first goal is absolutely gravy. It's gravy. So I will be raising it, but I'm going to let it sit there over its 100% funding for a day. And then I will raise it. So, because it'll just burn them up. So thank you for supporting and really showing up tonight in a way that I never thought people would. So glad that they did. All right, let's do these justice chats. Kay says, "Hey Nick, stuff has been rough in my life lately. You were able to go to finish law school while starting a family of 5. Where did I lose that? Yes. Do you have any advice for keeping yourself motivated during tough times? Having some trouble with it? Keep up the good work." At the end of the tough times are good. Good times. They are. They're both good because the tough times are over, and they're just good. Remember that those times take up. They're on the horizon. Good things are coming. And it's tough. Never let anyone tell you that life isn't hard. And never let anyone discount the hardship you're going through. But just know that people have been there. You've been there before too. It may not seem like it now. Now might seem like the worst time. But you've been here before. You'll be here again. But you'll also be better. than you are now, or ever were. So there you go. There you go. That's my encouragement to you. Chin up. It'll get better. Lil Poo Poos says, welcome, ladies and gents, to the Freedom Stream, where I will be letting it all hang out. And I mean all, I will be streaming butt naked for the first time. Talk about the moistest places on my body and reveal my greatest secret, my love for Drexel's hard. Oh, well, that's gross. Doom Guy says, what do Chernobyl and Shane have in common? Catastrophic mistakes that could have been easily avoided. There you go. Crowdfunded Titties says, Mars Girl's first job was a football goalpost. Low T Greg is so bald that when he wears a poncho, he looks like a broken condom. Gross. Oh. Short Round says, top donation tonight to the GoFundMe. We'll get one of the first Fear the Beard hats or a set of 3 patches, their choice. At DD214 is a gender on Twitter. Also, police interaction tip 1. We know when you didn't have your seatbelt on. Don't lie to my face. Hashtag ban mall cops. Night of Hopex says, yeah, Belle's hot as hell. It's kind of embarrassing how angry everyone is at her. She has the best hustle ever, lol. DLJ Screwjob says, so I remember one time that one of your boy Zach's friends was trying to donate 10K and people kept flagging it, so eventually she just wrote a check to him. Are people doing the same with Vic? I know you did once with some of the super chat money. No, I did not. I did not do that yet. I might have said that I would do that. I do plan on doing a donation personally, but outside of the GoFundMe. So I don't know if anybody else is doing that with Vic. I don't know that anybody's doing that currently. I haven't heard of any donations being taken down. So Mercenary says, was watching fireworks while listening to you. Wish I had the ability to give you some of my homemade salsa or the 6-hour smoked ribs we made. Now I have to watch the cars leave my neighborhood because they park next to my house does the fireworks. Oh man, ribs. That's not on holiday says, Nick says he's getting none of the money, but when Vic wins the lawsuit, Drex's trainee girlfriend goes down to the battered women's shelter and gives Nick 40% of the take. Sexy Mailbox says, happy 4th of July to my fellow Americans. Remember the wise words of Liberty Prime. Democracy is non-negotiable. Chad Manning says, give Vic money. Pirate Funimation products. I cannot endorse it. It's my ethical obligation to advocate against piracy and any other illegal activities. Test Not on Holiday says, I don't get why Soya isn't settling. It'll allow him to take his cuckery to a whole new level by paying for the dates Vic will take women on in the future. He should love the opportunity. Mercenary X says, have you guys ever heard of the channel DVD Overlord, also known as Dictor von Doomcock? I've heard of Doomcock. Besides the name, he is so funny to watch. Also tell Hero to stay away from the 405 near Century Boulevard. I used to live there right next to LAX and the freeway traffic is bad there. Books Games Pottery says, I recently edited a story for a friend. There was a moment where I had to sit back and choose between possibly hurting their feelings and editing to make their work better. It was eye-opening. Books Games Pottery says, I donate to Vic because I hate injustice and people being presumed guilty based on baseless stories. Can't stand that. Didn't know who Vic was, but I'm proud to support him. Hey, thank you. DLJ Screwjob says, don't forget those cucks at Rooster Teeth who used the allegations to fire Vic because they needed a reason. Oh, allegations against Vic? Now we won't seem like a-holes. Wrong. Mythos Irving says, theory. I believe Monica is currently pegging Ron, screaming, it's all your fault, Ron. I hate you, cuck. Then Ron cries in the corner. That's a very interesting theory. Diesel Mechanic 88 says, glad to see the 200K goal hit and now exceeding. Hope the tears flow from Kick Vic and are extra salty. And finally, Asia Frazier says, berries for Nick too. Thank you. Oh, and Shindig. Shining Nebula says, happy Freedom Day, everybody. Here's to freedom to exist. To Kick Vic, take that. And with that, I will play the outro. Here it comes. Here comes the... Well, I better turn it down just a bit for now. Here comes the outro. That means the show is wrapping up. That means the gin is hitting right here. Gin is hitting right here. Solo Beverly says, Akiva, this one's for you. An F you hardcore centrist. Oh, fun times, fun times. Thank you. You guys have made tonight. I mean, let's take a last peek. See if we got any more in that last bit. We did, just a little bit, and that's fine. 203, 427. Huge night. Never expected the showing of support. Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. I'll try to put together a great show for you tomorrow. Unless my wife makes me go to fireworks again, a long way from my house. I will announce it on Twitter. I will keep working to bring you guys the information, and there's a bunch coming. There's a bunch coming. There's deposition details coming. There's motions coming. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to blank out the show. I'll let the music finish playing. I'm going to get on Twitch in just a little bit. Rekieta, twitch.tv/Rekieta Law. Come check it out. We'll see you soon. Peace. Peace. Oh, happy Independence Day. Because Bill Pullman destroyed the notion that Independence Day was reserved for America. Because today is our Independence Day. Right? Thank you, Bill Pullman, for making it a international holiday. Thank you to everybody, and seriously, happy 4th of July to all of you. Fluffy Side Up says to support Vic, go buy merch at Bubba Fest. Yeah, come see Vic at Bubba Fest. Come see me. I should be there. Peace.
Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea. Post on Twitter as we hear lawsplaining tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than